So, guys, I was thinking about my YouTube channel today, which you hate
No
to see.
promoting
I
yourself,
realize.
man. Come on. That's
Wow.
rule number one.
And I decided to
Oh,
go
I don't
to a
care.
toy store because I haven't done a toy store like tour and hunt in a really long time. And I walked through and I found so much cool stuff that I wanted to buy, including a Star Trek shuttlecraft, a Playmate Star Trek shuttlecraft for
I thought you
$45.
said cool stuff.
It was cool to me, this guy. Okay.
Any
But
chance to promote the channel or talk Star Trek, Ben is on it.
I'm on it. So I went to the counter and I said to the guy, I was like, hey, I noticed that this is cheaper, like in other stores and other online locations. Is there any way you can negotiate with me? And he was like, hard no. Hard no.
Sorry, this
That's
is
the
a mom
price.
and pop store?
Yes.
Oh, what a fucking
So,
fool.
so my
What
question for you guys
you,
is:
what a fucking
is that
fool.
is that not a great customer service move, or because it's brick and mortar, because they have more overhead cost, should I be more understanding to the fact that he didn't want to negotiate?
No.
What do you guys think?
I will
So
tell
was he
you this.
rude about it? Go ahead, Zach, and then I'll ask.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
wasn't even-
Answer that question. That's a good
I wouldn't say he was rude, but it was like clearly people have asked him.
Is it him or me?
Is it me?
I think it's him. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Ben. One more time. You broke up just a little bit.
Sorry, I just realized he wasn't mean about it, but he basically just said no, like that, like price tag is the price tag, like so price has to stay.
So I don't know how things are in Canada, but I know in the U.S. times are tough right now, right? Like you're trying to save a buck, right? I'm sure he's trying to make a buck, but at the end of the day, I think what was the price and what was the price difference?
It was only about a $10 price difference. So I could
Out
have
of
found it on,
out of what, like $100 or $200?
no, it's a $45 item. So it was pretty low cost. So again,
Okay,
not much.
so
margins
you're talking 20%. Honestly, I think if I was in that position, been like, hey, is this your first time here? Sure, like we'll do it this once. I think you have a chance to make a customer. It is so expensive as a business to earn a new customer than to keep a customer. So if he would just, $10 on something that he's still probably making a profit on, right? He's probably making maybe a 5% profit at that. I think it's a bad move. Obviously, he doesn't know you're a YouTuber, but you would have been, probably singing his praises and giving him a bunch of free advertisement right now.
So I was going to the store to do a video. That was the whole reason I was originally going to do it. And then I didn't end up doing the video because I felt embarrassed that I asked to barter with the guy. He said no. And I was like, okay. And I left and I went to a different comic store and did a video of that one instead. And that's going to be the one that goes on the channel tomorrow.
I'll say that you never know who people are, right? And obviously you're a star, and he
Oh my
could have
God.
had.
It's not even that I wanted special treatment. My question for you guys is more just that, like, do you guys always try and barter when you go to the brick and mortar stores, or should it be more, again, they've got overhead costs, so I should be more accepting of the
not
price?
at like Target or Walmart, but
No,
I mean, like,
for sure.
I
if I'm
can
at,
see Zach bartering at
Walmart.
Target, though.
hey man, this box has a little ding in it.
It's a pro move right there.
Yeah, I've seen some people in this dashboard do that. No, if it's a mom and pop store, I always barter because the chances are, if it's a kind of store where they're getting inventory in from people off the, walking in with a collection, they're paying pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bamboozling people, right? So you're not. This guy is not gonna shutter his doors because you took him for $10. So no, I don't have any problem with it. I always hit up my mom and pops when I need something. I'm happy to shop with them and give them free promotion. But yeah, I don't think it's like a wild thought that you asked for a small discount. Personally,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's your money and he wants your money, right? So it's like if you're not willing to, work with me, I can literally get it someplace cheaper. So do you want the sale or not? Like,
yeah, and that's the thing, right? You're showing him like, hey, I can get it.
I showed him.
here
I
at
showed him
this
my phone. I
price.
was just like, hey, there's like two different
Foolishness.
local listings from private
Foolishness.
sellers for $10 cheaper. I'd rather buy it from you than buy it from like some guy's driveway. I've got a soft face. I don't want to get robbed for my $35.
That doesn't happen in Canada.
What about you, Eddie? What do you think about this? Because you
Did he tell
Like,
you?
give you a hand job on it.
Jesus
Did he tell you why he couldn't drop the price?
No, it was just like hard no. So I think it was that he'd been asked enough times in the past, probably, that I think he was sick of the question.
He's like,
So he
I'm
didn't
tired of this
really-
fucking
didn't really
Starship.
entertain
I don't know. I go to shops a lot, and I can kind of get a vibe of whether the guy is willing to barter or not, and I'll go by that. I've learned that they don't like to hear that it's cheaper somewhere else. I feel
fair.
like they
Maybe I shouldn't have led
immediately
with that.
feel like they
Regarded.
immediately like get go on the offense when you say, "Hey, this is cheaper somewhere else. Would you mind matching?"
That's a good point.
Then I'll try and be like, "Hey, like this is really cool. Like you have a cool shop here, and then just like be friends and hey, like, oh, I
Appeal to
really
their
want
ego
this."
first.
I didn't
Yeah,
bother him
and
up
then-
at all. Hate to
Yeah,
say
because
it.
I've done.
It's a pro move, Eddie.
I've mainly tried to barter with like hot toy stuff, and I know that the second you say this is cheaper on Sideshow, they get all like, "Whoa, what the?"
Whoa,
Like, they
buddy.
want to raise the price on you.
Whoa,
after
buddy.
that. So, yeah. So
I have a child.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No,
Yeah,
but I'm
this is-
with you though, Zach. $10 wouldn't have cost him that much. Maybe it was a consignment piece from someone else. That's the only, I guess, mitigating circumstance, if that's if I'm
Sure.
using that term correctly. But I think it would have been worth his while to kind of build that relationship with you, and you probably would have gone back if he was like, "Yeah, you know what? Let's do this." $10, and he could have made a customer, and instead he's still got this thing that will probably sit there. You said it is Star Trek, so probably going
Could
to
be
sit
there
there
for a
until the
while.
end of time.
Till the next
Yeah.
generation.
But they only had one.
Wow. That was good. That was good.
That was good. Thank you. Well, okay, let me tell you this. So, Dean, you said something last week, and I wanted to mention this, and it's the show, whatever. I just couldn't get a word in.
Yeah.
Marco mentioned this today. Okay, 2 years ago on Mercari,
The other
I
day.
sent this guy. Yeah, the other day I sent this guy an offer for this figure, and it was $5 less than what he was asking for it, and he declined it. He was being a fucking prick about it. He said he would only take $1 off. I still to this day get emails that
From
the
that
seller
guy?
is sending offers for the same fucking figure. I mean, it could have been in my collection for 2 years. He could have made that money, and he wanted to fucking
He could have
You
invested that into Bitcoin, and it could have been worth a small
worth
fortune.
$6 by now.
You should have told him this is Star Trek, man. Like, let's be honest. Who else is coming in here asking for this?
You really
I
should.
clearly look like I really wanted it, though. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm holding up, like, oh, it's magical. It reminds me of childhood. No, didn't matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Present
I've been finding that a lot, like with like kit bashing stuff. It's like, bro, you want $15
fucking expensive,
for
bro.
like a little part plus shipping and tax? Like, I get it. You're the guy. You have exactly what I'm looking for. Like, just take $5 off. That helps at least shave off the shipping, right? Mitigate the if you want $15 for a piece of armor, sure, but like you're also charging $5 to ship it, which it's not costing you $5 to ship it. So shave that off of the asking price. You still make your $15. I'm happy. You're happy, but okay, you don't want to help me out. Like, you're gonna fucking sit with. I'd rather not have it, like, just out of principle, than deal with you anymore.
Actually, I feel like Walmart might have had a better reaction, honestly.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do is just say "pretty please." You'd be surprised how far "pretty please" gets you. I got a figure today because of "pretty please." We'll talk about it.
Decent.
Let's talk about it here in a little bit. Let's see. Let's get into it.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast. This is the true form of lore gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Eddie.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. I want to give a quick shout out to everyone listening, wherever you're at, on the replay, live in the YouTube studio audience, Twitch, every once in a while, if it's not a bot. Quick shout out to you guys. Yeah. Shout out to the Patreonies. I'll shout them out at the end of the show. And shout out to Collector Zone, our affiliate and our friends. Marcos.
Great guy. We have a momentous occasion tonight, Dean. We are here with glorious purpose. Today we are announcing the nominees for the 2023 Collecting Weekly Figure of the Year, Company of the Year as well awards. And that's going to be the entire back half of the show. So if you like that stuff, stay tuned. If you don't like that stuff, that's on you. We'll be giving away $50. $50 for people that nominated. Have a list here. Please, God, someone don't let me forget to do that. Chat, remind me as well.
Hey, don't forget to do that.
Yeah, we have, look at this. We got Toy Mafia. We got Sam Gist. Been a hard week. I needed this tonight. Thanks in advance. Hopefully your week is getting better. Sam, I hate to hear that. Mark Pearson, CW is what I'm most thankful for. Happy holidays, you kings. Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to get all emotional on stream, but there's a lot of stuff to be thankful for, but I know a lot of the other YouTube channels are doing that, and I didn't really feel like doing that this year. Alid says, CW makes me print my pants every Tuesday. Trevor Weed says, 15 minutes is nothing for a 1/6 scale collector. 6 scale collector, Sam Gist, 12-inch move stream. He's got a nasty cold. Hope you feel better, bud. Alvin J. DJ, I'm calling Ox Corporate. The stream says 8:30, not 8:45. To be fair, I did try to change it, but StreamYard locked it. I couldn't change it.
Yeah, they changed it again.
Yeah, we got Calvin in the chat. Zach's Wonderland and another delivery delay. How dare you? Yomo, Reverse Zeo. Fuck Eddie. Typing so loud. Sam Gist. Eddie must be on the show. Zach's trying to fit in all his new this week's. We got Big Ol' Fern, Equan. Let's see here. DJ. There's a lot of people in the chat. Alvin J. Ben Thomas, OG fan. TK592. SpongeBob SquareBalls had us all worried this weekend. What a guy.
I know. I'm glad he's doing all right.
I was scared. I couldn't even think. My heart was so sad. Toy Cartel, what's up, guys? Been a minute. Finally got hit with the COVID, so laying in bed watching you guys. What a guy. What a guy. Christian Cooper. Let's see here. And Lane the Legend Collector. Or Lane the Legend Kramer, excuse me. Dean, we have a very special segment that we kick off all our best shows with.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yeah.
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week?
Normally Dean goes first, but I want to share my new this week first so that no one can say that I copied them. So we're going to start. No, I'm just kidding. Dean.
Look at Dean's face.
Look at the look on his face.
I'm offended.
That's a bad person.
Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, so
wait, we said Dean's. This isn't more Sonic figures, so this couldn't be Dean.
Okay. How dare everyone? What the fuck is happening today?
Actually, Sonic probably could have a Mark 46. How many figures Dean has?
Yeah. So Sonic Iron Man crossover.
46.
Yeah, so we were hanging out on LWO this past Friday. Shout out Marco G and all the homies over there. And they were talking about all the cool sideshow deals, and I wasn't really feeling it. I was like, whatever. I was kind of zoning out. And Mario was like, well, what? Don't you want the Mark 46? And I was like, yeah, I really want that figure, but it's only $5 shipping, which it's like still like a $400 something figure. So not really saving anything. So, I'd rather just not get it. He's like, no, if you use this code, it's 35% off. So this came in under $300 or something. Like $290 or something like that.
Did you have any points that you added towards this as well?
Yeah, $3.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, guys, I have $3.50 in rewards," and everyone's like, "Oh, you could get it for free." I was like, "No, guys, $3.50."
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a pretty good deal. I was like, I can't not get it now, and put it on a payment plan. First payment not until the middle of next month, and no NRD. So it's like there's really no negative side to ordering this right now and getting the savings.
There was no NRD?
No, it was wild.
And if I have to cancel it, I'll just cancel it. Like there's no harm, no foul. So I put in the order, and yeah, that was my new this week. So finally, I have my Grail. Yes, $3.50 worth of points.
I wonder if that's why I pre-ordered something today and there was no NRD, but I used points, and I'm wondering if it takes it off when you use points. It's like a glitch or something.
I don't know. It didn't say anything, so
that's weird.
Yeah.
Usually it's in like the drop down of like what money goes where, but it wasn't there. So
I did the exact same thing that Dean did.
Yeah.
I did it first though, but mine. Just kidding. I had 60. I think it was actually $70 of rewards, so I got it for pretty cheap. Probably gonna push that first flex back to January though, because December I'm buying everyone else gifts. But yeah, no NRD. I was thinking about it. I was like, why not? Like, there's no NRD. I just pull the trigger with no hesitation, really. So I had this figure, the original one. I sold it when Vivi was less than 1. She had a real bad illness. We had to take her to the hospital, and it was like $6,000, and had to sell some things to pay for that.
I still regret not buying it.
And yeah, so I haven't. I bought it back a few years later, and then, I don't know, but it'll be nice to have it back in the collection. So,
any interest in selling the base at all, or you wanted the whole package?
Yeah, I'll sell it for like $230 for the base.
All right, there you go. plus shipping,
plus $15 shipping.
I'll trade you a Superman for it.
Oh wow! Okay, now we're talking. All right,
there you go.
Let's talk offline.
I don't need the base at all.
There you go. I don't know. I've done that before. The very first payment. I don't know. I'll just tell them some sob story and see if they'll push it for me.
They're like, actually, we watch your show, asshole.
No one watches this show. Are you kidding me?
You just got $8,000 worth of arcade games, and now
fuck you, Marco. You just ruined my surprise. How dare you?
I was not saying anyone specifically. So really quickly though, I don't even know that you need to call them. I think you could just do it in the system.
Yeah,
you can push back the payment.
Yeah,
there we go. So yeah, this is my new this week. Everyone has given me a lot of shit about this pose, and you can see it back here. It doesn't look great. Okay, it's a work in progress. I definitely want to have him elevated, especially with the type of material. It's going to be perfect to put on a stand and put a waist grabber on. But yeah, this is the Electro from No Way Home, and one that I was kind of on the fence about, like, am I going to go down this line? And then I ended up pretty much unloading the clip at this point. I ended up going to Secure Toby, and I've got the Andrew Garfield as well that I haven't unboxed. And then I just need to add a Goblin. No, everyone pause there. So yeah, that's the last one that I kind of need to add to round out the collection. But yeah, this is a really sweet figure overall. The head sculpt is nice. I was giving them a lot of shit about these lightning effects, and I still think that they could find a better solution or something that lights up, but they actually look pretty decent on this. So I'm overall really happy to add this one, and looking forward to doing a full Spider-Verse setup once I get these garage shelves up and running.
Very good. Sam says, looks like he's trying to finger a ghost. So
it looks like he got electrocuted.
Oh bro, it kind of does. This was Jamie Foxx last year when he had that medical emergency.
Oh my god, that is not. Oh no.
Ben, what did you get new this week?
Today, so at the second comic book store I went to, I ended up picking up a different Star Trek collectible, a Borg from Star Trek The Next Generation. I didn't steal this one. I've got the Locutus of Borg to go with it, and then I just got the 6-scale Locutus. So I was pretty stoked to find just a generic Borg drone, basically, for the collection. So yes, I would put them in the shuttlecraft if I've been able to buy them, but no such luck. So no, it was fun. It's cool, but it was only like $15, so it was a pretty cheap new this week.
Is it Locutuses or Locuti?
There's only one Locutus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's that.
You guys are so enthused. You're like, nerd.
Wow.
You guys like Sonic more, apparently. Hate to see it.
Oh, speaking of Sonic, Dean, I should have waited on what's the Eagle's name? I always forget his name.
Jet the Hawk.
Yeah, the Hawk. I should have waited because I paid like $20, I think, at Frankincense for it, and I saw it at Target yesterday.
Yeah, they're only like $10 retail.
God.
Yeah.
They had the reissue or whatever, restock or something. I was like, damn it, I should have waited.
Ben has Lacutus of Borg. I have Lacuteness of Bork.
Oh my
gosh, Kevin. What
You
a
hate to
sweetie.
That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
You know, speaking of great poses, though, look at these elite poses right here.
Okay,
Bro, Mark
I
just
don't know
said, like,
why
Trump.
you're talking. I don't know why you're talking at all. These are meant to look this way. Yours just looks like he had a seizure.
I thought it was decent. Come on.
Why did you sound like Trump? Look at these poses. So beautiful poses.
Got the best poses.
Okay, so on the left, I have this is a custom leather jacket that came in for the Nightmare Batman. I meant to look up what company this is by. I got it off 1/6 Kit, so just go on there and look up leather jacket for Nightmare Batman. I'm sure it'll come up.
It's not the Daft Toys one, right?
No, it's not the Daft Toys one. I have the box in the closet. I'll go get it soon, and I'll type it in the chat which one it is. But it looks pretty good. The only problem that I have with it is it's very, very stiff. Like, I guess usually like new leather is stiff. Like, it needs to be broken in, and I might weather it a little just to make it have that worn in look, because he's definitely has it like super worn in the movie. But I already, even just like that, I love it a lot more. The collar looks better. You can have the collar sticking up and it holds really well. It looks really good. So I'm having fun adding and customizing some clothing on my figures. And then
really quickly on the coat, though, I think that's such a big improvement. I had to add a custom for mine as well, and I think the stock coat is horrendous. I've been telling Ben
I like mine.
It's no good.
I like mine. I could have
for
sent you
you,
guys a
but-
picture. I'm gonna send you a pose picture, Marco.
Don't do it.
Man,
Just
this
kidding.
side by side is-
We should do a war of posing.
We need to bring it back.
I'm just kidding.
We need to bring it back.
In fairness, that figure doesn't.
I do
pose
miss
well.
the intro. The intro was sick.
Do we have it? Still?
Wow.
Let's see. Do we have it here? There we go. We have it here. Look at this. Let's see. Look at that. Well, maybe we'll play it later.
We should have just had Dean recite it, honestly.
And the new this week, Star Wars new this week is Count Dooku. I absolutely love. This is one of my favorite prequel figures. I was upset that I sold it, and I just got it back. And this week, I should be getting Obi-Wan. So the prequel line is continuing quick. So that's cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah. On the subject of Star Wars figures, if anyone wants a Hunter and Echo for a stupid price, send me a message and I'll give you the deal of a lifetime.
I told you I'd buy them after the holidays.
Are you serious? Because I'll give you a good price. Let's see here. So this week has been fucking bananas, and I've gone a bit overboard, to be completely honest. I've been wanting to pick up some of these arcade one-ups, like the mini cabinets or the full-size cabinets for a while. And for my birthday, I almost picked up the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 full-size arcade, but last minute I decided against it. And so a lot of the cabinets went for like a pretty crazy discount. So the smaller cabinets, I think they retail for like $250, and they all went down to like below $100. And then the one on the right, which is a two-sided full-size cabinet, is like I think it's like a $750 cabinet. They went down to like $300. And so I picked up like the Marvel Superheroes countercade, the NBA Jam countercade, and the Miss Pac-Man / Galaga countercade.
God dang.
And then I picked up the full-size cocktail two-player countercade. I mean, they're both two-player, but I may actually return the one on the right. I think I am gonna get the full-size Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet, and either I'll have both because they do have different games on them, or I'll just keep the more expensive one. But the super expensive Marvel vs. Capcom full-size one, it did not go on sale, and I don't think it ever will. Like, just to buy the game disc is like $200. So to get a monitor and arcade controls, it's gonna be pretty sweet. To answer the question where I'm going to put this, so we were planning to move all this stuff to the garage. If you listen to some of our shows around June, July, we had talked about it. And then after everything with my son, we kind of put that project on hold, but I think we're going to start it back up again. So some of the stuff will be built and just in the garage so we can play it, but they'll basically be like a corner of the new Aux studio will be arcade stuff. And
have you
yes,
thought about...
Sorry,
go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I
thought
do.
About shit. All right,
you fucking Marco. You only have an hour and you're wasting it. I'm just kidding. I do want to have people in San Antonio come by once I get it all set up because a few people have said they want to come check it out. So maybe do like a little Ox tournament or something, get some money going. Sorry, Marco, go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. I'm first of all, I'm really jealous because I've desperately wanted one of these one-up arcade cabinets, specifically like NFL Blitz or NBA Jam, or we talked about the 4-player X-Men one. I think that would be like my choice number one, but they're so expensive. So to snag these at a discounted price is pretty amazing. Have you thought about customizing, using a Raspberry Pi and like building your own arcade cabinet where you'd have like every game ever freaking made? Have you thought about that at all?
I looked into it once. I do like stuff like that, right? Like getting into like the minutia of like modding and making things like that. But there's a lot of skills that I don't have, and woodworking is one of them. And I've seen people that build their own arcade cabinets, and you really need to have like a full shop to do it. I'm sure there's probably people that make like the MDF kits and you just, apply your own vinyl and stuff like that. But I don't know that I really have the patience for that. And even like these smaller ones, you can mod them to have any game on them, but it's like it's not like the 2DS. It was just like a few button presses. This you have to like unsolder things and solder in like a new motherboard to bypass the anti-piracy features. Like it's very complex. And I was reading the Reddit and like everyone was saying that they could not get it to work. There's very few people that had success with it. So that's kind of why I'm forced to buy that big cabinet. Because I had looked into emulating Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and it's not impossible, but to have it where I could play it on a couch or like, a more comfortable 2-player experience. Like I could play on this computer easy, but it's a bit difficult. So that's why I think I am going to get that 2-player one, and it's so expensive. But I was telling Victoria's like, I really want it. Like I'll pitch in, and so. They still are producing it, so I know I have time. I just don't think it's one of those ones that's ever going to go on sale. The cheapest price that I found was on the Home Shopping Network, surprisingly, but their website is super sketchy, and I would I don't know, I was getting weird vibes, so I'd rather just pay the extra money and go through like Amazon or something like that, where they'll have my back for it.
For sure. No, I'm just thinking, you've got a talented wife who could like paint a really dope cabinet for you. If you ever, found a kit that was a little bit easy. I get that, some of those woodworking skills, you wouldn't want to build it from scratch, but if someone had a ready-made kit, could be an option for additional pieces.
Yeah, I do. I've always wanted to do a project with a Raspberry Pi. I just haven't found the right project for it yet, but it is on my mind. But I will say, from what I've seen, the Raspberry Pi custom arcades, they can only run like very basic, almost like Nintendo Entertainment System games. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think is way too powerful for a Raspberry Pi
rig.
Yeah, you almost need like a PC inside of it to run it, and at that point, it's like you might as well just play it on your PC. They do take a lot of space. In fact, I'm gonna have to pick up a desk for the 3 countercades. So I'll have to modify like my initial idea, but I gotta find all that stuff. Ever since August, I haven't really given much thought to it. But I mentioned earlier saying Pretty Please helps. So all week, Dean, since I think it was Saturday, the Spider-Man figures hit San Antonio, and I'm not waking up at 8 a.m. to look for toys. I can't be doing that. I don't wake up at 8 a.m. for work, let alone to go buy a toy. So I know that San Antonio is a city where if you're not like right there, you're just not going to get it, right? There's just too many people that scalp toys, and it's frankly annoying. And so I Manny had given me a lead of some of the targets that may have. I really just wanted the Toby, at least for now, because I have the other ones on pre-order at GameStop. And I had called a few of them because like I'm not like targets are so far in Sanctuary. I'm not driving, an hour each way to hit up a target and go home empty-handed. And so through calling, they told me one store had 10 of them, which I was like, there's no way. And so I called this store and they had 2 of them. And the lady's like, we can't put it on hold. And I was like, pretty please, can you put it on hold? And she's like, yes. Saying pretty please gets you places. And I got it, baby. Toby, Marvel Legends Spider-Man. This is fucking awesome. I cannot wait to play with this all day tomorrow. Basically going to be my whole day tomorrow. So expect to see this on YouTube Shorts. Pretty cool figure. Yeah, just say pretty please to people. During the holiday season, a lot of these... I used to work retail, so you get treated like shit. So saying pretty please and being nice to these people get you pretty far in life.
It goes. You could get some extra stuff, and you should just do it anyways because these poor folks are making no money.
What do you mean these people?
Oh, I was one of these people. I'm not the freaking the other half like you, Dean. Anyways, so
we just call them the help.
Wow, just like the movie I watched today. Dean, there was a lot of Latin folk in the beginning. It's like Kelly Osbourne on The View. Let's see here. Speaking of Spider-Man, Hot Toys, they did confirm this was a real image. The classic Amazing Spider-Man / 90s Spider-Man / whatever you want to call it. It is an exclusive, so it's making its debut in Japan, Korea, Shanghai, Hong Kong first, with fans in the United States being able to purchase this on Sideshow. And there'll be a limited quantity. And I'm curious if you guys like or dislike Hot Toys trending towards more limited releases.
I'm okay with them doing limited releases. Limited releases. Sorry, I got tongue tied. What the hell? Oh, as long as it's
He wanted to see it up close.
Yeah, you're good.
Hang on, let me get you even closer.
Yeah, he's checking out the Toby Spider-Man. Is the webbing done right, or is it just the lighting? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's there.
From some angles, the silver fades away.
Yeah.
It's. I think it could have more silver, but if I can drove for 3 hours trying to find this figure, so.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm okay with Hot Toys doing limited releases as long as it's like, this isn't the only Spider-Man you could get, and it's not even the only comic book Spider-Man you could get. So like, that's the perfect kind of figure to do a limited release on. If it was the only Spider-Man, that would piss off a lot of people because it's like, now I got to get in line for who knows how many they're going to release if it's limited. I mean, we didn't even know we kind of just ballparked what the Anakin was going to be with that rooted version.
I think they told us on that one.
Did they?
There's a worldwide quantity, but we didn't know specifically how many Sideshow had gotten.
Right, that's what I meant. Sorry, thank you. So it's like, how many are they going to get of this guy? So, yeah, it's not a definitive version of the character, or I guess sometimes to someone it might be, but it's also not the only one. So, yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, this is one that I was initially really hyped for. The 90s Spider-Man cartoon was one of my favorites. Kind of got me into superheroes in a lot of respects. That and the X-Men and Batman cartoons. But the more that we've studied this on, by myself or on various streams, the more the inconsistencies kind of stick out of the lenses, of the branding, that it's, Spider-Man, but then also the Amazing Spider-Man. But I think Eddie found a version that might have been like Ultimate Spider-Man that this resembles a bit more. So yeah, everything about it kind of feels almost like a repaint. I'm not quite sure the pieces that they're using, but it doesn't seem like a wholly original figure. And those are the exact ones that I'm okay with them doing limited runs of. But this is probably the one that I was most initially hyped for. Like, damn, they're going to do it limited. I don't want to miss out. And now I'm kind of like, okay, maybe I'll try. But if I miss out on this one, Spider-Man 2, the video game, had so many amazing suits in it that I'm going to have an opportunity to get another Spider-Man if I really need kind of a comic-inspired one. So I think this is cool, but it seems a little bit more lazy the more that I look at it.
I don't mind either way if they do stuff that's limited, or if it's easy to get, or if there's a mix of both. I like a mix of both. And to be fair, I don't think the artisan ones have been that hard to get. At least you have a chance. I would be more upset if it was like Asia only. I don't like when they do those ones. But even then, like, I don't hate it enough to go online and be like, they shouldn't do this. It's just, I think that sucks. But I don't mind the slightly limited.
I feel like if they haven't absolutely nailed the concept, that it shouldn't be an exclusive. I think it should be available to everybody. Having said that, I also think this is an underbaked photo. I feel like Hot Toys got caught with their pants down a little bit. I don't think this was ever meant to be shared when it was. I think it's odd that we haven't seen any more photos since. If you even painted the eye pieces on that white and just left like a very thin black outline, it would have looked more comic inspired than it does right now. I just feel like this is a weird photo. To me, it seems like they have pieced a bunch of things together as like a concept design to be presented to move forward to like next stages of development, and this may have been the photo that got shared, but instead it's like no, seriously, we are actually doing this, don't worry, it's not a leak. And as I said, it just seems strange that it's been already this long and this is all we've got from it, because otherwise it feels a little bit confused. I feel like for the market that these types of collectibles are meant for, comic collectors and fans of movies and television, it seems so strange that most of us can't really peg one definitive version of what the hell we're looking at. So why is it so exclusive other than that it's weird? And if it's just weird, like the blue Batman was, that seems to have still sold out, this will still sell, let's be honest.
People love that limited. I think you're giving Hot Toys too much credit, though, Ben, by saying, this maybe wasn't ready for prime time or ready for public consumption. I think it was, and I think maybe the reason we haven't seen more is, to your point, they might have heard the feedback and like, oh shit, maybe we need to retool this a little bit.
Maybe.
At least that's my hope. But again, I might be giving them too much credit as well. So we'll see when we get a better glimpse at this thing.
Yeah.
There you go. We also have the Mark 6. This is the quarter scale. I think a lot of people were probably hoping we'd see a Mark 6 1/6 scale instead, but I think Hot Toys typically does very well on the quarter scale stuff. Excellent bit of battle damage, though, you know, it's a bit heavy on these battle damage parts and then a bit light on the other parts. That's just a typical complaint of mine. I love the way they do these LED light up panels. I think they've always looked super sick on the quarter scale stuff. You know, obviously the parts are a little bit bigger. They can get a little bit more intricate in terms of the lighting. Love to see that. The portrait, I think it does look pretty good. I think in some of the 6 scale releases, he's looked a bit old. This, I don't know if it's just the paint or what, but I'm kind of not hating it as much as I have disliked some of the recent portraits for RDJ. And overall, I think it's pretty good. You do get the rolling eyeballs here in the quarter scale portrait. And at $640, it is expensive, but you know, that's just typically I think what these things cost. This one is due October 2024 to March 2025, so plenty of time to order this. But yeah, what do you think, Dean?
I love this. Probably too much. I don't collect quarter scale. I want to very badly, but I just don't have the space or the coin. So I have to fight every urge to buy a quarter scale figure all the time. But this is really tempting. I fell in love with the Mark 6 armor after I got that figure from you in 6 scale. And I regret selling it like every day. But the fact that this is quarter scale and they could pack way more detail into it, I think it's fantastic. I think it looks fantastic. I have no doubt this figure will come out fantastic just on their other Iron Man quarter scales that have been released. I think it's sweet, but goddamn it is very expensive.
Listen, I think that it's a beautiful piece. Like this head sculpt, like we said, all the battle damage pieces, the artistry is undeniable. Even the base, like everything about it is really beautiful. But I have a really hard time investing in this line at the price point without the lack of any innovation. I think if this was 6 scale, I probably would be all over it. But something that's this scale that's kind of competing with almost like a statue, right? It's got to have the LED light up functions. And I'm really running up against that with this line, and then going back to the 6 scale as well, where they're not innovating, and you see modders that have done, you touch the arc reactor and the whole thing lights up, and it doesn't necessarily limit a ton of the articulation. I think that for a piece that's this beautiful, that has light ups inside of the battle damage, if they're going to demand this really high price point, then they've got to start going that extra mile, because I don't think that these quarter scales sell really, really well. I could be wrong. I don't have all the data, but I've seen a lot of them sit around. So yeah, it falls in this weird category where I feel like they got to try a bit more to entice someone like me that's pretty strictly a 1/6 scale collector to really spend the big bucks on this. And yeah, it's just fallen a bit short for me, but so many aspects about it that are really beautiful.
I like it a lot. I think that it's cool that it's come in with a head sculpt, because I don't think we've seen a head sculpt with previous quarter scale Iron Man figures. I am tempted to collect some of these. I have a space for bigger figures, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with that space, and it could be this. I love the Mark 6. What might be one of my top 5 armors, or top 3 even. So I think it looks really good. I'm not a big battle damage guy. I could do without the battle damage, so it's cool that they're interchangeable, because I know people love that, so to add them in, that's cool for those people. But yeah, I like it a lot. I'm tempted. The price points kind of suck, and I agree with Marco on some of that, where with what they're charging, you can buy a statue. I don't know if you can get a Mark 6 statue. There's one Mark 6 statue, I think, and it's a Sideshow one, and it's pretty sought after. It's a lot of people's favorite Sideshow Iron Man statue. So if you want a statue specifically of this armor, it might be hard to get. But anyway, I think it's really sick. I hope they do more. I hope they do the whole armors. That would be really cool. I think that would be a sick display. And I think that's something different that you can't get from a statue, is most of these Iron Man statues are going to be a little more dynamic for statues. So if you want to do like a Tony's Workshop in quarter scale, that'd be cool. Be cool to get an actual Tony, like a full Tony without the armor in quarter scale to do that. But yeah, I like them. I think there's a place for them. So yeah, cool.
Good take. Trevor Weed says, if only they'd done the head sculpt for the Mark 6 2.0 1/6 scale, that is forthcoming.
That's
so
true.
much better.
Yeah, this is significantly better than that one.
Yeah, it definitely is. When I first took a look at this, I thought it was 6 scale, saw Hot Toys logo, didn't even realize I was looking at quarter scale at first, and was really impressed by the likeness to Tony there for sure. So I will say win category, 100%. I can't justify the scale of quarter scale in this collection room or in my apartment. I just don't have the space for it. I find, for me, 6 scale likeness is still so good. I love the posability and displayability of 6 scale. Quarter scale is that next level, that much closer to statues like Marco mentioned. For me, if I'm going to go something that size, I think I'd rather have a statue, something that has some more of that innovation that you mentioned, maybe different posability options, or like a dynamic pose ability option sort of thing, where like it's a static pose, but it's super dynamic in comparison to something you could do 6 scale. I'd rather see something along those lines. I also feel the Iron Man fatigue at this point a little bit. Even when I thought it was 6 scale, I was like, holy crap, another Iron Man? Like we're all so excited for so many other things that unless I guess you're more specifically a quarter scale collector, I didn't see or feel the community being all that excited about this necessarily. It was just kind of like, oh, there we go again. Sounds good. On to the next one. And that's kind of how I feel about this. So it's cool, but not for me.
Yeah. I misspoke. I guess I didn't. We talked about so many of these Iron Man figures. I guess I didn't realize there was a Mark 6 2.0. I mean, obviously we covered it, but yeah. So my apologies on that.
Yeah, it comes with that better gantry.
For the deluxe version, yeah. I just had to look it up. I was like, man, everyone's maybe I'm missing something. But yeah, that's it's interesting. I guess Marco, going back to the innovation here just for a second. You mentioned LED stuff. I guess, do you know what these mods, like, are they durable? Like, I've seen people do stuff like that, but they're like, oh, well, you can't articulate it, or you can't, you kind of gotta handle it gently. Do we know of any? I don't think the soap reactors require any sort of like, careful handling. Obviously, you have a bunch of wires coming all over the figure, but
So I spoke with Big Bretta, who I think Bob Dylan shipped him one of those modified figures, and he said there was some limited articulation, I believe, in the arms, but overall, I can't remember exactly where on the body, but overall it functioned pretty much like the exact figure. I couldn't speak to longevity or the durability, but it seems like there is a way to make it happen. We talked about this before with the lightsabers and the LED technology being
maybe like
so
a
cheap
USB-C at some point.
Right, they should at least have a USB plug. Like, it just because who's really using these batteries, and even if you are, you're not getting much time at all out of them. So this figure needs to be lit up. Yeah, look at the artistry of this when it's lit up like this. Like, it needs to be lit up, and the fact that you can't really do that for an extended period of time is just, I don't think it's acceptable for the price point. And the same goes for the 1/6 scale figures. They need to start innovating.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna give you a point for that. That's good stuff there. Let's see here. We also have the I Am Groot. These are the blogger photos. I never did watch the show, but I heard it was pretty popular with quite a few people in our collecting community. But this has been released. I think it looks, the old Groot life size was cute. This is cute too. Not really an uphill battle for Hot Toys here, but looks like they've done it. They have given us the I Am Groot.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. They've done Groot a few times before, and they're pretty solid. So I wasn't really expecting this to not be good. So the fact that it is good, it's not super surprising. It's just kind of weird that they decided to even do this at all. Because like you said, it was like the show is like very inoffensive, and it was just kind of silly and cute. And it's just like, I don't feel the need to have a representation of that in the collection. But yeah, it came out great, and I think it looks super fun, but I would never add anything like this to my collection.
Definitely. Sith Scale Collector says, I've got Fusion Reactor for my Mark 7, and it's great as long as you can hide the wires. Not hard on that figure. And to answer Sam Gist's question, I always do put the batteries in my Mark 7 for photos and everything, but then I take them out to avoid them from exploding and corroding and eventually killing the figure. So, but I've done it. It takes quite a bit. Tweezers for sure are helpful. With regards to Groot here, I'm curious if this will be the last time we see a baby Groot 1/6 scale figure, because obviously now he's grown up. No spoilers for Christmas Special or the newest film, but he's no longer baby Groot. And while I think that the short, I want to call them shorts that they did for this character, because I think some of them were like a minute and a half long, right? Like, they weren't crazy lengthy by any stretch. I think that they were pretty popular, but I'd be curious to see if we see them necessarily coming back, especially now that he's older. So if this ends up being the last time we see a baby Groot, I think it was a great final release. If it's just amongst many more, then this would still be one that I would likely pass on, despite it being really cute and looking really good for the Guardians of the Galaxy line. So I do think the clear version in the back, though, is a little nightmare fuelish. I don't think I would actually add that in my display. It's terrifying.
I like this a lot. I knew it was a thing, and I never really cared to pre-order it or even jump on the wait list, but when I saw that it was released and I saw the angry sculpt, I was like, I kind of want it. The angry sculpt makes me want it on my desk. And I loved Baby Groot in Guardians 2, and I think the onesie makes it really cool too. Like, I wish I had it now so I could like pose it in my Christmas, like if I could have him on my
themed, yeah.
Well, I don't know that it is. It might be like mushrooms or something, but it looks Christmas themed, like the trees, or I don't know. But I want to put it like on my mantle place above my fireplace, like with my Christmas decorations. I feel like he'd be cool just hanging out there. He'd be cool for pictures, and I'm wanting to do more picture stuff. So I feel like it'd be really cool for that. And I agree with Ben on the like. To me, it reminds me of Bubble Boy from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of when I see it. I don't love that, but to get the onesie, you have to get the deluxe, which comes with that. So that'd be like an annoying accessory to have to put somewhere in a desk, or unless I leave it in the box, I guess. But
I want to like put it in my freezer and make him look like I've got a Groot ice cube in there.
That'd be pretty. You could, if you could open it up, you can make like a actual ice cube and put it in a whiskey glass or something, like a Groot head in a whiskey glass. That'd be funny. But I like it a lot. I think it's cool. It's a little cooler to me than the baby Groot because it's smaller. You could have him on your desk. You know, mess around with it, and so I kind of do want. I jumped on the wait list for both of them to see if it converts. So we'll see.
Yeah, you know, so Baby Groot and Grogu are like such pandering like pieces of media where it's like, okay, they're just like trying to like just utilize cuteness, but I'm a sucker for that. Like I just love those characters, specifically the iteration of Baby Groot, you know, into Guardians 1, into Guardians 2 in the beginning, and all the stuff that he does in that. So yeah, this is one that I definitely have no plans to order, but if at the right price I saw it sitting around somewhere, I could be tempted, especially like Eddie was saying with this little sweater. I think that's one that Gigi would love too. Like I could definitely sneak it into somewhere in our house. I think she'd get a kick out of it. So yeah, I think it's a really cool looking piece. Do we have any pictures of the Angry Sculpt? Because I didn't remember that one, but I might have to go look that up.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, this one here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a cool little addition as well. So yeah, I just think it's a cool, fun little piece that's different from the average stuff that we get.
There you go. Let's see here. We got the release of the Cobb Vanth by Hot Toys. Had a lot of people that didn't like this, and I would maybe tend to agree with them. I know lighting is very subjective, and obviously in these photos they are trying to light it a particular way, but I don't know. I think it maybe looks a bit worse from the proto. I don't know. I'm not super happy with it. And a lot of people were comparing some of the textures on like the Hasbro to the real suit to what we got here.
That's rough.
Yeah,
that is rough.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton. That's pretty much exactly what I'm seeing here.
In one of the pictures, I think it was one of the last pictures on all the ones that I sent you. He looks like Sling Blade. Like his neck is all buried into his chest. And I was like, that is the funniest picture they've put in a blogger picture ever, dude. It was bad.
It's going to be perfect for my Bad Santa Kit Bash, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Timothy Oliphant is such a handsome man. Bro. Like, frustratingly handsome. Like, bro, fuck off, you beautiful bastard. This definitely does not do Timothy Oliphant justice. He's like real puffy. I don't know. It's just like it's not working. I have almost nothing positive to say about this figure. Partly because I'm not a huge fan of the design, like when we first saw the character anyway. But I came to enjoy the character, and I really like Cobb Vanth. And again, Timothy Oliphant is fucking awesome. So like, I was tempted, like, okay, like I like Cobb Vanth enough to get this in the collection. I have a bunch of other Mando stuff anyway, but as this sits currently, no way. I wouldn't add this. It's not as good as we've seen Hot Toys capable of doing, and especially now with all that added, competition in the 6-scale field. It's unacceptable. And again, not just the head sculpt, all of it, like the outfit was, I mean, that's not even close to resembling what it looks like. The proportions also, in the show, it was kind of just like a guy that stumbled across the armor. He didn't wear it well. He looked goofy as shit. This doesn't capture that at all. This looks like a very like well put together outfit. And like it's not supposed to. And I guess you could futz that, but like, should you have to? Probably not. Yeah, I don't like it.
It's expensive too. It's $300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's a tough nut to swallow.
Jesus Christ.
I always get Timothy Oliphant and Josh Duhamel mixed up, just as people. Those guys
Oh,
look
it's 'cause you're a bad
oddly
person.
similar.
Get him out of here. Get him out of
Who
here.
the hell is that?
Face blind. Look him up. Josh Duhamel. It looks exactly like Timothy Oliphant, especially when they both were younger. However, Dean hit the nail on the head. This man is an extremely handsome person.
Yeah.
Right? He does look like him.
I can see it, yeah.
Yeah,
They could
he
be like
is.
cousins or brothers.
100%. This could be Josh Duhamel in Star Wars, as opposed to Timothy. Okay. I've seen people out there saying that collectors are tap dancing out of choosing this now because it looks exactly like the prototype. And so if you liked the prototype, why don't you like this? I think that there are subtle changes from the prototype to the final version here, but I would say for the most part, it does look pretty damn similar to what we originally got. I think where Hot Toys has failed me on this one is I was kind of hoping, and maybe like Marco said earlier, maybe I give Hot Toys too much credit. I was kind of hoping that they would tweak it a little bit more, especially after we've seen such strong likenesses in the Ahsoka line. Like that newest Ahsoka looked amazing. I thought Hera looked amazing. I thought Thrawn looked amazing. And this kind of looks like a toy version of Cobb Vanth. These a little shiny. I think that could be definitely some of the photography. But Hot Toys is a relatively professional company at this point. If this is like a B-team sculpt, then it shows. If this is a B-team blogger photo, that also kind of shows, but it doesn't do the figure any justice, especially when I see the inaccessible price point that it's at. If this was a $220 release, I think I could be like, it's close enough and still justify it for my collection. But when I convert it to Canadian, look at the customs, look at the shipping, this is damn close to $500, which prices this bad boy right out for me if it's not as close to 100% likeness as it can get. If you've got the Cad Bane figure to pair with it, that was still a really badass scene, but it also kind of extinguished like a green fart. Like it was only exciting for about 30 seconds, and then who knows what's going to happen with either of those guys going forward. So
I think you're thinking of Ahsoka and the green fart. But anyways.
Well, there's a couple in the Star Wars canon for me lately. But anyways, I don't see the likeness here, unfortunately. I don't think it's a tap dance excuse for anybody out there. I think it just doesn't look as good as people wanted. I did do a poll on my Instagram last night. It had over 110 comments, and it was a 68% no and 34%, 32% yes.
God damn, your Instagram is wild.
OG fan is saying this is Yixi, one of Hot Toys or one of the hottest sculptors right now on commission for Hot Toys. I think that's what's the most disappointing thing is because I've been following Yixi's work ever since Bretta said, I'm not a real collector. I don't know who that is. And like they have been doing some terrific sculpts. And this one definitely feels like a miss from everything that we're seeing from these pictures.
I still think Hot Toys' best sculptor is Kizma. So
I don't know.
Yixi ain't got nothing on Kizma.
They sound like Pokemon.
Jesus Christ.
Normally, I'd say, oh, well, if it's a bad head sculpt, put the helmet on and you're good. But this is one that I would want to pose without the helmet in my collection. I don't even want the Boba armor on him. I wanted to pose him as just Cobb Vanth, so that does suck. I'm hoping that if I see it in person and it looks a little better, I might decide to get it because this is one of the few characters that I would want for my Mando shelf. So, because I really like this character a lot in the show, and it probably because it's Timothy Oliphant. Like I tend to like most shit he's done. So that does kind of suck because it does looks a little off. So yeah, you hate to see it. Ben was on one, dude. He posted like 5 posts at once when this came out. I was like, holy crap, Ben's everywhere on this one.
I thought he was the other Canadian. I thought it was John for a second.
Oh my
God.
God.
He was all worked up.
I was awake. I had my chocolate nuts. I was smoking. It was an epic night. Epic night.
Wow.
But I will just say this is a figure that
wow.
It's true. He woke up for this one. It's just one that I didn't think was really particularly stunning with the prototype because of the price. And then now that you see that the final looks to have degraded a little bit, it's just all not a very strong release in my opinion. But I think Hot Toys knows the Mando line is strong. People have gone all in on that line. So this may be Book of Boba Fett though, right? I forget which one it lands in, but either way, people are going to go down get this figure regardless. But it's just disappointing that it didn't come out stronger than it had potential to be a really cool figure.
If this goes on sale like the way some of the Mandos from season 3 have gone on sale, then I will get this for sure. Like if it goes down to like yeah.
Here we go. Let's see. We have. Here we go. This is Josh Duhamel and Timothy Oliphant. So yeah, I could see it.
Yep.
I could definitely see it. And then I guess this is from earlier, Ben's.
Marco was ragging on my my jacket here.
It looks like that just came out of the washing machine and he didn't dry it.
It's getting blown sideways. It's getting
Eddie's
blown
looks like
you don't
it
see
was
the wind.
dried and hung out, and it's nice and
Yeah, that looks like one of those puffer jackets that they wear in New York. But no, it's a nice pose though, Ben. Like, I get it. It looks decent, but you need to upgrade the
You
coat.
guys hate to see it. I wouldn't have got the point
really
on,
quick.
on Pose Wars.
I want to say we were relatively harsh on the proto as well. I don't think we liked it.
I don't think we
I
were.
feel
Yeah,
like I remember we went in and draw the line to saying unless everyone cancels, I don't see a price drop. But that's
could
just
happen,
Sideshow, though, right? No, we've talked about this though. That's just Sideshow. You look at other sellers, and there's stock out there for all of these figures, and some of them are going on discount. So it's hard to say. It's not, specifically Sideshow. If that's the only place you buy from, then maybe you're not going to get this one or a discount. But I could see it go somewhere else. Oh man, my man.
Just
Nick.
for you, Nick. Just for you, bro. Let's see here. We have the Bat Cycle. I don't know that we have any blogger photos, but people overseas have already started getting them. There's a look at the box. Great to see that it fits in a DTOF. Not sure how much that really goes into consideration, but it fits. So that's cool.
That's pretty fucking sweet. I like the Bat Cycle. I really do. It's just like, if I'm going to be spending the money on 6-scale vehicles, I want it to not just look like a motorcycle with an interesting cowl on it. I want it to be ornate and look like a Batman vehicle. This just looks like a really kick-ass motorcycle.
That's not a Hot Toys problem, though.
No, I'm not saying it is. So as much as I like this, it's just... Maybe if I get a Pattinson Batman, I'll fucking be like, all right, fuck it. And I'll end up picking one up. But as of right now, I think objectively it looks fantastic. For me, I can't justify spending that kind of money.
Well, there you go. Let's move on. We really got to start picking up the pace here. Jazz Inc. Dioramas, they have some early production photos of the next Batmobile that they're making. Eddie, I think you have this one on pre-order, correct?
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
you canceled it. Why?
You hate to see it.
Because it was expensive as hell, and I needed the cash for other stuff at the time. So
yeah,
that's the way it goes, man.
Remind me, which Batmobile is this? Forever, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well, this looks
1995, baby.
95, baby. They got the lights there. They got the cockpit. Great to see that we actually, that we finally have some shots here. So really good to see. And obviously, we'll continue to keep up to the news for Jazz Inc. Marco, just let me know whenever you have to step out. I know you said you had a hard stop.
Yeah,
at some point.
I've got another 15, so we're good right now.
Okay, perfect. Eddie, you want to talk about this? The XM Studios quarter scale, and I believe also they're making this in 6 scale. This is the Bane from their classic series.
Cool.
Yeah, this is supposed to go up for pre-order tomorrow, but in I don't know where I think XM's in Singapore. I might be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but it says 29th in Singapore, so I think that's tonight. I think it'll go up for pre-order tonight. But it's 1/6 and quarter scale. I had the two sculptors the concept designer and the sculptor, but I don't remember the names now. So it's cool. It's really cool that you can get it in 1/6. if you want to try and fudge it into like a figure line.
Do they do that often, the 1/6, or is this something new for XM?
XM for the past year, they've been doing 1/6 for a while, but for the past year or year and a half, maybe 2 years, they've been doing 2 offerings with quarter and 1/6. Normally they have a whole 1/6 line and then a whole quarter line, but for the last couple of DC releases, at least, they've been doing both. So yeah, that's cool. It's kind of a new trend in all statue companies, really. Like you see Tweeterhead doing both scales now. So I feel like that's something new that statue companies are doing. But I think it's cool. I don't think it's the best Bane out there, but for 1/6, I think it might be the only Bane in 1/6. There might be another one. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but there's a couple quarter scale offerings that are pretty good. Probably people will like better than this one, but that it's in 1/6, I think, is the selling point for this one.
That's a big selling point for me, Eddie. Sorry, Ben, go ahead, and then I
was going to say, all good. I was just going to say, I think this could look really cool still with some Arkham, like Arkham Asylum or Arkham Knight figures as well. Some of those Batmans. It's not exactly the right Bane, but it's pretty close to the game in comparison to and everything else we've seen. So in 6 scale, that might pair really, really well with one of those guys.
I
agree.
The cowl looks a lot like Affleck's cowl, so also you could pair it with Affleck.
Yep.
We didn't see Bane in that universe, so
kind of thought of that as well. Yeah, so obviously this character is pretty big. So 6 scale, I don't really have a sense of how big this is actually going to be and what this is actually going to cost. But I'm very tempted by this because I feel like Bane is one of those characters. Even if we got like a really stellar brand new body, he could never be this big without really exposed joints. So it's one that's really tempting in figure format. So one that I'll be keeping my eye on. I already talked to Marcos at Collector Zone. He said they should be carrying it. So I'm keeping an eye on that price for sure.
So if you guys care, the concept design was Rafa Sandoval and the actual sculpt was Paul Tan. And I know those are big names in the statue community. I don't know them off the top of my head what other work they've done. But yeah, those are the designers, and it says it'll go up 5 p.m. SGT, which I don't know what that's short for, November 29th. So I think it's tonight it goes up. And it'll probably be, if I had to guess, probably like, because of how big the character is, the 1/6 will probably be close to 1,000, and the quarter scale will probably be like 1,500.
And just like that, I'm out. No, I'm kidding,
what the fuck, bro?
It's pushing the limits for sure. Depends how big it is.
Yeah, I do like that these companies are starting to offer different scales of the same statue. I think it's very smart. Not everyone has the money or the space, for a massive. I mean, this is almost a 3rd scale size. Like, it's quarter scale, but Bane is so large that this guy's going to take up quite a bit of real estate. So offering that at 2 different scales, I think, is very, very smart. Let's see here. We also have the S-Hero animated Superman. I believe this is the Justice League version, and they are teasing a Batman there. No, sorry, I wasn't sure if it was the. It looks like the animated series, but the silhouette is also very similar to the Justice League. And then I was thinking, like, does Superman ever show up in the Batman animated series? I couldn't remember, but there's this. So
yeah, this is cool. Those proportions are really hard to get in figure form. Ben can speak on that here in a second. But I know a lot of people would love to have these in their collections, so I think it's cool to see someone knocking them out.
Definitely. Well, and I think, the only other ones that we're seeing right now that are comparable are the Batman the Animated Series ones from Mondo. And kind of like Dean said, they come with some pretty hefty joints to the point where I actually think I like the 7-inch scale more than the 6 scale in those figures for how obvious those joints are. So I think if you can get some soft touch material over the body and make it look pretty good, still kind of animated series accurate, I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of a win. So I'd be curious to see what the Batman's going to look like for sure.
Just from this tease, that's already crazy to me how they could get it such a smooth design like it is in the animated series. So that's crazy. This is the same company that just released that Doc. What the heck is that guy's name? Now I'm blinking. The Fantastic Four bad guy.
Doctor Doom.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
the same company that released the Doctor Doom that Bretta just did a review for. So if you're interested to see some of their other stuff, go check that out. Big Bretta's channel. But so they've done some other stuff. I don't know. I saw Justin repost this. He was really hyped about it. So
yeah, this is very tempting, honestly. If the sculpts are strong, we've seen kind of these animated figures where the sculpts just look goofy. So if they get a strong balance of, kind of a little bit lifelike, but a little bit more comic inspired or show inspired, I could be tempted to get both of these, honestly. Yeah, so really cool that someone's tackling these. And if these are successful, would love to see them do more of the animated figures.
Absolutely. Let's see here. What do we have? We'll do this one first. Ben, tell me, we got Star Trek New Worlds Spock.
Yeah, so this just came up for pre-order today. This is from, again, obviously Strange New Worlds, which has been a pretty popular television show so far. This is another take on the iconic Spock character. And I say it's a take on him because if you watch the show, while I still think this actor is doing a good job and I've enjoyed watching his performance, it definitely doesn't really feel like Spock to me. He's much more emotional than Spock ever was. And some people argue that's because he's so young. I would argue that, like, we've seen in canon Star Trek, Spock being pretty young, like almost a child, and still being very, like, he's emotional, he gets a little aggressive, but even still, he's a lot more logical based. This is like a rom-com for Star Trek in a lot of ways. So if you like Strange New Worlds, or that's been your introduction to Star Trek, you maybe are young enough that you don't remember the classics, I still think you'll probably enjoy the show and figure. It does look a lot like the actor. I will give it that. Good credit, and Exo-6 has done a great job with their tailoring and some of the equipment that we're seeing. Some of it's a bit of a rinse and repeat, but they are keeping the price at least at the $225 range. I believe the pre-order end date for this on Exo-6's website is December the 19th. So if it's something you're interested in, don't necessarily wait. Typically it goes out of stock on Exo pretty quick, and then if you get it from a secondary source like I did with my Locutus from Sideshow, that ended up being about 7 months delayed past its original expected to ship time. So something to keep in mind on the Star Trek figures.
There you go. Now this is obviously it's Spock, but this is, where does this fit in the continuity of like is this the same Spock from the original show?
So it is a bit of an Elseworlds version, I will say, but if you were going to try and plug it into the canon that exists, it would technically be before Kirk. So during the Christopher Pike captain days. James D. Kirk is still technically in the second season of the show, but very young and obviously not a polished captain by that stretch. So yeah, this is kind of before the original series, if you put it in the canon, plugged it in.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. We also had another last minute figure. We have the Dark Furian 2.0 16 scale collectible figure. Eddie, tell me about this.
So yeah, this is the 2.0 version from Art Figures, from Chronicles. No,
Chronicles
wrong. From Riddick. It's from Riddick.
Just Riddick?
The more recent one. So I don't know if anybody remembers. It was Pose Wars actually, so that's twice we're referencing Pose Wars in the show. But I think like one of the only Pose Wars shows that I did, I had the 1.0 release, which was his look from sort of the middle to end of the movie. This is his look from the beginning of the movie, like right when he gets betrayed by the I forget the name of those people that betrayed him, but this is up on kit now for pre-order. It's $200 total shipped, well, plus tax, I guess. But $200 from kit, free shipping, $30 down payment, and it'll release pretty soon, Q2 of next year. So should be quick. They already have the head developed, but they said that this is a slightly tuned, newly developed head. So, and the other one wasn't. There's two things that come with this. This comes with a stand. The other one didn't come with a stand, which is cool. And then the battle damage. The other one had 0 damage, which is kind of cool. This one's all bloodied up. And obviously different armor because it's a different look. So that's really cool. I love Riddick. I pre-ordered this the second when it went up because I ended up selling my my other one. It was during my transition stage, so that one sells for a little bit now on eBay. So I'm glad they're doing a re-release or a release of a new version. That's really cool.
So this is from the Riddick movie.
Yeah.
So how many movies are there? 3?
14 one, I think. Yeah, there's Pitch Black, Chronicles of
Riddick,
and then Riddick.
Where does that movie fall in?
It's a direct sequel to Chronicle of Riddick.
Okay. And Pitch Black is before all that.
Yeah, so they're all in line. They're all
okay.
They're all sequels to each other.
No bullshit. Literally, like 3 days ago, I was going through Amazon. I was like, "Oh, Riddick's on here." I was like, "I've never seen this movie," and I was like, "I don't know where it lies." So I was really hesitant to watch it. I did add it to my watch list, so
I like it a lot. It's pretty funny, good action, and Dave Bautista.
Is Bo-Katan in that?
Yeah, Bo-Katan is in it.
Don't you get a little booty from
I
Bo-Katan
think you
over
get
there?
a little booby. I think you see some nips.
Hold up. We're stopping the
Hold
show.
up.
Adding
Hold
it
up.
right now.
Hold up.
What did he say?
What did he say?
What did he say?
Wow.
You can't.
Press
You
the
can't
button.
pull
Someone-
that out.
Well, I'm looking for my own research. I'm gonna stop the show. Here we go.
So I will say, like, Eddie, this is sick. Thanks for bringing this to our attention. This is like when you're in too deep in the hobby, when you're like following Kid on Facebook, and you
Oh,
start
you do
looking
get
at these
nipple.
third-party things, and you're like, oh man.
We talked about
You
this
almost
exact
wish that-
scene before.
Wow. Okay. Pull it
Oh,
up.
Marco
Let's
was
see it.
talking, but that's fine.
That's
The,
all right.
Sorry,
There's
this is
everyone
Katie
ignore me.
Sackhoff's nipples.
I was listening.
I was listening too.
No, but just sometimes
Sorry.
you wish that you didn't see these type of things because they're
I
really
know.
tempting.
I'm always super tempted by third-party stuff, especially when it's like sort of nicher fandoms like this. Like, I really love Riddick. I think this might be next to the first few Fast and Furiouses. This might be my favorite Vin Diesel franchise. So
I 100% agree with that.
That's how I feel about the Carl Urban Dread movie.
Great movie.
Dude, that movie's so fucking good. It's unreal. And I bought the third-party Dread and Anderson, and I love those figures.
also Carl Urban in Chronicles of Riddick. So
Oh, apparently Carl Urban is also Wolverine in the Deadpool 3. I guess there's like an alternate.
oh
timeline.
yeah, I saw that.
That was
Spoilers, bro.
today. They posted
That's
it today.
hilarious.
Not really spoilers, but
Cool
Sources,
thing.
they posted it.
He's also in Lord of the
someone,
Rings.
yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It's going. Oh, he is.
He's also in The Boys.
Hey,
Holy
Omer.
shit.
The
He's in a
Mijos.
lot of stuff.
Let's.
Zach, we need to speed up the show. Also, Zach, hold on, pause it. I gotta.
I'm sorry.
track down the
You were
scene.
leaving. Weren't you supposed to leave already? Jeez.
Yeah, your
Like
15
that.
minutes was up 20 minutes ago.
Jesus.
It's true. I got about 2 more minutes left.
Wow.
Jeez. Marco leaves us at the slightest bit of anything in the world happening. I'm just kidding. It's for a good cause. So our friends over at Collector Zone are offering 15% off in-stock items and full pay pre-orders with code CW. They have a ton of great stuff on their site, and it's nice because everything's all bundled together, the tax and shipping and retail price. So definitely, Marco always hanging around. Definitely be sure to check them out. It's collectorzone.com. They do some great stuff supporting streamers like us, supporting other streamers. I think they're doing a 2K. I think it's the Blurg, right, Marco? Giveaway for your channel. They did the Carnage
Exactly.
giveaway for us. They've supported a bunch of us streamers, so really appreciate them. And yeah, we're not getting rich off of this. It's just a good way for you guys to save a bit of cash and get some cool stuff for your collection. So shout out to Marcos and the team, and shout out to our Marco. Look at that guy. What an angel. Before you head out, Marco, we did have this little bit of news from Deadline Hollywood. Michael Waldron has been tapped to write the Marvel Studios Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. He had already been set to write the installment that would follow Kang Dynasty and will now write both films. He has become one of Marvel's most trusted creative minds, and he's also the creator of Loki. So very exciting for that. Are you more excited for this or less excited than the original writer?
Honestly, this excites me. Now, I know there's been some speculation that they might be going away from Kang. I don't know that this really clarifies it or not, but it does say he's writing both movies, right? And they kind of list out King Dynasty. But I like pretty much everything this guy has touched. I was a big fan of Loki. He obviously was a creator of that. I liked Multiverse of Madness, and they brought him in, I think, late in the process. You can watch on Disney Plus kind of the I forget what they call them, but the behind the scenes. I think he had to come in and kind of rewrite the script like under a lot of pressure. And I know that movie gets a lot of hate, but I really enjoyed Multiverse of Madness. He's like been involved with Rick and Morty. I think he's one of the writers, or at least was one of the writers there. And so I think to do a multiverse story that's going to be pretty weird, I think this is the perfect person to do it. And I'm sure that they've tapped other writers that they've got and other talents that they have. But yeah, I think this excites me to kind of get a uniform vision. I think it works really well with Marcus and McFeely that they wrote both films, and with the Russo brothers kind of directing both. So I like that continuity, and it makes me kind of more excited for the direction of Marvel.
I hope you're more excited than this guy looks in his photo here, because he does not look super excited.
What's
about
up
any
with
of
you
it, to be
taking
honest.
shots at white guys today, Ben? It's kind of racist. I'm just
trying to bring it back. You know what I'm saying? No, I think when I see an article though that says things like he's now the one of the trusted people again, sort of thing. So was Taika Waititi, 2 movies ago when he did Thor Ragnarok, and everybody like absolutely loved the guy, and until he made Thor Love and Thunder, which unfortunately was a miss, but not like overall, like that director's a fantastic director, still amazing, and has lost the trust of Marvel fans and critics alike. So I feel like the fan base is extremely volatile. I think a lot of fans are ready to move on from Kang because they've been kind of underwhelmed by the storyline. So to me, this doesn't even necessarily excite me all that much. I feel like at the end of Loki season 2, that could definitely be their out of the Kang dynasty. They kind of gave it a natural stopping point that they could use if they wanted to, in order to move on to a different big bad that they may be able to develop better from the ground up. And work better with. People say, well, Kang hasn't got much of a chance, but he's still appeared in at least 1 full movie and 2 different television series, and he hasn't really caught fire. Whereas you think about Thanos, the introduction of Thanos, you only got to see moments of Thanos over a couple of movies, but you felt his presence coming the whole time. And like when it did, it was awesome, right? And Infinity War, Endgame, some of the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movies of all time. Kang has been kind of flat. So I think this is okay news, but I also think that they could kill it and everybody be just as happy with that.
There you go. Marco, I think you said you had to bounce. Good to see you.
I got to take off. You guys have a good rest of your show.
Congratulations to your friend, buddy.
That was my sister.
Oh, your sister. My
Congratulations to your sister.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
To your sister. Thank you.
Night, boys.
Later, buddy.
Here we go. Now this is where the fun begins. Just kidding.
Whoa!
Let's see here. So the CW Awards, the finalists. So for the last few weeks, we've had you guys nominating the figures and companies that meant the most to you this year in collecting, and we were able to take those nominations and whittle them down. Some of the categories were pretty easy. There were 3 or 4 clear-cut figures with multiple nominations. Some of them were a bit more random, so perhaps a little bit more subjective. But I do think we have some good lists for you guys, and we spent a lot of time putting this together. So let's see here. So this is the voting form. If you want to get a jump start on voting, you can scan that, and it should take you right to the form. It's a lot of people said last year with all the graphics, it was kind of hard to load on the phone, so we kind of trimmed it down a bit, so it's really just text now. Yeah, you can. Oh my God, Eddie's glitching into the Matrix over there.
My camera is lagging so much.
No, it got all green. It was like you were about to get into the Spider-Verse or something, bro. It was awesome.
Wow.
Here you go. So let's see what we got. So the categories are most improved company, best overall company, best figure under $35, best 1/12 figure, best non-traditional, which is it's not 1/6 or 1/12. Yeah, Moose, I'll give you a link here in a second. Best third party, best portrait, figure of the year, and best 1/6. Let me get that link for you right here, Moose. Let's see. Here we go. If you guys want to vote on that while we go over this. So for most improved company, we start with Mondo Toys. Obviously, we've talked about them a lot this year. Ben has done some really great videos on his channel, showcasing their different releases with the Batman line, teasing Spider-Man stuff. So definitely a company that's done a lot of really cool stuff this year. We also have Iconic Studios, Street Fighter stuff, Muhammad Ali, getting into some Silent Hill figures, so branching out quite a bit in their line. Hot Toys, obviously Hot Toys has done really well at these awards, so they have many nominations tonight, so we'll be talking about them quite a bit. 3-0, the DLX line, some of their 1/6 scale figures, always done really good, and In Art. Do you guys want to say anything about any of these companies before we move on to some of the categories?
Yeah, like you mentioned Mondo Toys there at the beginning. Honestly, like for me, they may take my vote this year just because of the extensive lines that they've been able to give us. The McCready recently from The Thing was really awesome and divergent from what we've seen in the past in terms of soft touch materials. The X-Men line, the Masters of the Universe line, the Batman the Animated Series line, the tease of the Spider-Man line. Like there's so much cool shit coming from them, and every figure looks fantastic. It looks like it's straight ripped from the source material. If they can keep their price down a little bit, a little more accessible there, they're somebody to watch for sure in terms of up and coming companies, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, this looks like a solid lineup of candidates. Although I'm not really too sure most improved for InArt because it's kind of their first year. So, like, what have they improved on? I mean, I guess you could argue the industry as a whole, like in terms of quality, but when I think of improvements, I think of like the company itself. Like, oh, their shipping got better, their product got better. InArt came out of the gate with high quality products, but to say they've improved from last year, which was, seemingly nothing, like I don't really see that, but the people vote, so I guess just take that into consideration. But yeah, there's a lot of great companies on this list. Iconic, they've been releasing banger figures. I really like 3-0 because they keep coming out with really great stuff. The DLX line, awesome. They just announced the Mark 6 also in the DLX line. Their Robotech figures should be hitting the shelf any day now. So December 2023. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, 3-0's got my vote. But
there you go. Let's go into best overall company. So we have Jazz Inc. dioramas. We have InArt again. We have 3-0 again. Hot Toys again, and Mars Toys. Obviously, Mars Toys has done some really cool things with the what is it? The
prank villain?
Joker's. Yeah, thank you. The prank villain. So really nice to see that there. As far as Jazz Inc. dioramas, we actually did have a statement from them. Here, Dean, go ahead and talk about InArt real quick. Let me find or some of these other companies. Let me find their statement.
Yeah, just really quick on InArt. What even is their logo? What is that?
It's an IA.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it?
Pretty sure. I think it's their letters.
I think it's INA. Yeah.
I see it. Maybe I see the I, like the big rectangle. I don't see it. Anyway.
I like how on the nose Hot Toys logo is, that it's technically on fire. I hadn't really thought about that much until you just asked what InArt was.
Hot Toys.
It's Hot Toys.
Okay.
You go.
Yeah, sorry.
You
So
go
I'm
ahead,
trying to find this statement here.
What am I doing?
You're good.
For the love of God, just say something.
I thought Dean was going to give a take on what
on
your
most
pick would be
or
for
best
these ones.
overall. Is that what we're giving a
Best
take on?
overall?
That,
For best overall, yeah. Of these companies that Zach just showed.
Yeah, let's Hot Toys. InArt. I mean, it's hard to argue against InArt, right? They're delivering very high quality products. To say otherwise is just a lie. They're allotments and shipments can definitely be improved. I guess we'll see that next year if they are able to do so. But yeah, they've kind of pushed the industry as a whole in a forward trajectory, and it's hard to argue that they, aren't deserving of this. But again, Hot Toys also delivering pretty great quality products for the most part. I would say like a 90% approval rating consistently. It's not like it's like a banger here and there and everything else is just kind of meh. It's like almost every single release is pretty fucking solid. So overall, yeah, you can make the argument with Hot Toys. I'm pretty sure they take it every year. So this year should be pretty interesting moving forward.
So from Jazz Inc., Yost says that we are here because of the community and to serve the community and to listen to them and push the envelope and our sanity to the max to give them what they want. It's so nice to be recognized. That's all I can hope to say. Thank you so much, Yost and family. Sorry, I'm having some weird graphic hiccups. Give me here. Let's move on to the next.
You took the
category.
slides away.
I know I did. I'm trying to figure out.
Just for really quick, though, for best overall, Zach, just to make another quick point for Hot Toys, because Dean was highlighting in art there. I do think that the fact that we've seen I think it's over 70 Hot Toys now this year, is an astounding number in and of itself. And then, Sam Gist in the chat here mentions, I think Hot Toys does so much that we all take them for granted. I think after seeing 70 Hot Toys this year, we do forget how amazing these are over and over and over and over again. And while in art is really good, we haven't got much from them yet, and their price point is high, and it still kind of remains to be seen how consistent they can be and how quick we can actually get these figures in our collections once they're ordered. So at the moment, I think Hot Toys would probably still take that best overall category.
Yeah. So best under 35. So I'm trying to do a bunch of editing live because some of these graphics have this weird artifact in them. We have the Black Widow 60th anniversary by Hasbro. We have the Wolverine X-Man 97, again by Hasbro. The Ahsoka Black Series Padawan by Hasbro. The Ryu Street Fighter 2 by Jada Toys. And the Fei Long Street Fighter 2 also by Jada Toys. For me, this category, I'm going with the Fei Long. I think it's probably just a little bit better than Ryu from owning Fei Long and seeing some reviews of Ryu. I certainly think that the Black Widow is probably the second best one on the list. Having owned that figure, I own it currently. When you open it up, it's a bit unsatisfying because it's just those paper bags with the accessories. But I would imagine if it had a window package, that thing it would just be fucking slammed with stuff. There's 2 pistols, 6 effects, different gauntlets, 3 portraits. I mean, it's so much value.
Yeah.
For that price point, it's really fantastic.
Yeah, I really like the what Jada Toys has been doing. I think Ryu or Fei Long could win this. I think Chun-Li came in just under the wire, so it's kind of a shame she's not on here. Yeah, I think either one of those would be pretty solid.
What's that last one with the guy's leg on fire? Can we see that one again? Which one's that?
That's
Fei Long?
Fei Long.
Yeah, that's a weird pose. I was looking at it sideways, what in the hell am I actually looking at there?
Street Fighter is kicking.
No, I thought he was raging. I think I go back one, Zach, please, if you can. Yeah, I like this one the most, even though it's, I guess, still by Jada Toys. This really stands out to me. This is not a line I've collected, but of the ones that we've shown here, this would be my favorite for sure.
You didn't see... Jada Toys would have been a good one for most improved. Because all of their figures are sick. So that would have been a good a company to pick. But I think this is a tough best overall for... This is under 35? Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
That's a stacked lineup. Any one of those could arguably win that category, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, you're mute, Zach.
Yeah, we raised the threshold this year, or last year rather, from I think it was $29.99, but with inflation, it's kind of had to bring that up a bit. And I think NECA also raised their prices, so a lot of their figures, unfortunately, are just like a little bit above. I think they're coming at like at $40 to $45, like for the Feral Predator. So that one did miss consideration as well. But yeah, these are all excellent figures, I think, and I would be interested to see, with this category being so competitive, which one of these goes on to take the final victory, I guess. But Samgus says, can people change their votes? So yeah, vote on the form, and if you want to change your vote, just vote again, and I'll just delete duplicates at the end. So no problem. Let's see here. Next category, we have the best 1/12. So price isn't really as much of a factor. Ahsoka Padawan, again, really heavily nominated. We have the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which is a fucking awesome figure. I love that thing. They fix a lot of issues from this one, from the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I think it's a really, really nice figure. We have Fei Long, again, from Street Fighter 2. Void Cadet and Vortex Strike Suit by Mezco Toys. And then we have Joel and Ellie from Lim Toys. So definitely some real good competition. I would say, for me personally, my vote is going to go for this set here, the Joel and Ellie. Tukatri in the Patreon chat showed us like 100 photos of this, and it's like down to like the lenses and the scope and like the text and the little accessories. Like, I mean, it's like almost like too detailed, and especially like for 1/6 it would be really impressive, but the fact that these are 1/12 and that you are you're able to capture all those details, I think is pretty fantastic. So yeah, that's what I'm voting for personally.
Yeah, I think the bang for the buck you get with this set is pretty undeniable. The Void Cadet is pretty cool too. I mean, Zach, you kind of just looked at that thing and wanted it. It was
I bought it for. Well, I didn't buy it. I physically made the purchase for Cody, and when I picked it up, Cody's like, "Hey, do you mind to I just don't want to get it." And there's like a brick in the box, right? So I was like, "Yeah, sure, I have no problem doing that." And I literally looked at it and immediately went to the Mezco website and put it on waitlist, which I don't think I'll ever get it. I think it's actually sold out now, but yeah, I was like, dude, this thing is so fucking cool. I don't really care for like the Gomez stuff. Like, I think it's kind of a weird thing, but I was like blown away by how cool this thing was. It was massive. The articulation, like, just from a quick cursory inspection, fucking blown away. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think they're really, really freaking cool. So either one of those, I would not be surprised if they win it by a landslide.
This is the first time I saw that Joel and Ellie from Lim Toys, and I'm actually thinking I may get those if still even available or even possible.
They are very hard to find. I think
very hard to find. Damn it!
Percha's a
instead
big
of
fan.
6-scale.
Yeah, Percha's a big fan, and it took him like a month to find someone selling the set. I think it might be a little easier now that people have had them for a bit, and it's holidays. People might want to sell, to fund some Christmas stuff. I probably might actually be a little bit easier to pick up a set, to be honest.
Cool. Do you know what like a decent price point is for those? If I spotted them, just curious.
You'd have to ask Percha what he paid for his, because I think he did pay a little bit of the aftermarket price, but yeah, I would definitely get with him and see what he paid for them, because
cool.
They're pretty fucking sweet, to be honest.
Really nice. That would be my pick of this list for sure.
Definitely. What about you, Eddie?
I saw Joel and Ellie in Will's collection video, and I thought they looked crazy just in that couple seconds you see him in his collection. So that I don't have much skin in the game with these. None of these are figures that I own. I have seen the Cadet and Vortex Strike suit in person. I saw it at San Diego Comic-Con, which was really cool. So I agree with you guys. I think those two are very standouts. But I would probably go with the Joel and Ellie just because those looked insane. So
yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Draw the Line says, I think Hot Toys is the most improved this year. Most other companies maintain their abilities. Hot Toys have put some incredible head sculpt prototypes out this year. Huge improvement. So best non-traditional. This one's always a bit confusing, but we do a lot of 1/6. We do a lot of 1/12. This is basically anything that isn't in those categories. So, 3 3/4 NECA stuff, which is kind of like 1/7 scale. There's figures that are like 1/350th scale, or like 1/24th scale, or 1/48th scale. So we have the Feral Predator by NECA. We have the N1 Starfighter by Hasbro. The Optimus Prime DLX from Rise of the Beasts, which is a pretty fucking sweet figure if you ask me. Quarter scale Boba Fett by Hot Toys. And the Tales Collector's Edition from Jax. So
put that in there.
Yeah. And this was one of those ones where it was a bit subjective. Only really the Feral Predator and the N1 had more than one vote. So Sean and the Small Talk team and I have had gone over this for a bit, and this is what we came up with. For me, the N1 is pretty fucking sweet, but the Feral Predator is honestly, like, save for the tiny little hooks on the back of his to hold his bow staff, it's honestly perfect. So, and it's only like $40. So this is, I'm probably between the Feral Predator and the N1. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm gonna be super biased and go with Tails because duh. Multiple faceplates, eyes, hands, swap out tails, get a little diorama base. I think it's a solid figure. Kind of expensive, $50-$60, but I mean, the N1 Starfighter is what, 100, what was it, 140, 120?
Mm-hmm.
So not the worst price thing on the list, but yeah, I'm probably the only one that votes for that. So I have no delusions there. But yeah, I could definitely see it going to the NECA Predator. Bang for the buck. You got a ton of stuff in that box. And it looks fantastic. So
yeah, when we were at OxCon, I got a chance to see this Feral Predator in person. And when I was talking, earlier with the Limb Toys Joel and Ellie being kind of a stand-in for me instead of a 6-scale version, I think this would be a stand-in version for me.
Yes.
Instead of the 6-scale version. I feel like I don't need that big one. I think this would be appropriate enough for the collection to feel like it's represented, and it looks pretty cool, especially for the price point.
That's a really good point. I think, if you could save $300 almost to get this one, and be very happy. I think there's something to be said about that with the quality to match up to something, literally 10 times the price.
The only one that I own on here is the NECA Feral Predator, which I got at OxCon. And I love the figure, the way it looks. The ankles bug the hell out of me, though. I feel like this is my only Predator that falls over because he has a bit of bandaging around the ankles, and sometimes he can topple over. It kind of bugs me a little bit. It's a great figure,
User
but
error.
I do think, yeah, maybe, could be.
Definitely user error.
I think I'm probably going to end up voting for the 3-0 Optimus Prime, only because I love all of those Transformer figures. So, yeah.
There you go. Sam Giss says, the selection is rigged. I'm calling for recounts. Tails, LOLJK. Hey, man, we asked for nominations. We didn't get a ton, so we had to kind of, take a look at it and see what we thought had the best appeal. And we did an unboxing on that. It was very popular. So Tails made the final cut. Best third party. So we have the Joel and Ellie Limb Toys. Those are unlicensed figures. We have, what did Alvin say? I nominate MODOK. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Prank Villain by Mars Toys. Very popular. That one got like damn near half the nominations. Edward Scissorhands by Art Toys.
I forgot about this one.
that figure's out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cloud Strife and Fenrir by Game Toys. This is anytime we're talking about a figure, if it has a deluxe version, just assume we're talking about the most expensive version. And then Anna Marie by So-So Toys.
I was like, who the hell is Anna Marie?
I would say this category, I think, is probably going to be the most contested. I think if you're talking about pure quality of figure, Joel and Ellie, Prank Villain, and Cloud Strife are like fucking. I mean, you're talking like god tier third party figures.
Yeah.
So it's
they would give like
licensed
stuff a run for their money. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, just based on the first Cloud Strife figure that came out from Game Toys, and people already have this in hand, so like I already know that it's another fucking banger. But the fact that you get a whole ass motorcycle, all the swords to swap out and combine, like it's a functional figure. I mean, yeah, I'm going Cloud all day. If this was, like the VTS version, I would have like I wouldn't even consider this to be on the list. But the Game Toys, I mean, again, it really is a cut above like what you expect. Like in your wildest dreams, it's even better. Like it's like damn. I know, Eddie, I know that's some really hard to hear. But
I like Game Toys. I'm with you.
Consider Cloud is my favorite character of all time. So like when I got the figure, I was already shooting for the moon. I fucking made it all the way past fucking Pluto. You know what I mean? Like they delivered so fucking hard that it's unreal. So I'm going Cloud here.
That's fair. For me,
on Cloud
the
9,
prankster.
Wow.
I should say the prank villain, I think, gets it for me. But that Edward Scissorhands, I am so disappointed that I skipped on that figure. It's beautiful.
It's really nice, actually.
It's beautiful. So, but I think this will still take the win.
I was surprised by. I think I want to say Big Bretta has it.
No?
Maybe Justin. I'm almost certain Joel does. But that one surprised me. It had quite a few nominations. So, again, we appreciate everyone taking the time that nominated. We'll do that drawing here shortly. So let's see here. We have the best portrait, Gandalf the Grey by NR Collectibles. It's obviously getting my vote. 0 questions asked. The Joker by NR Collectibles. Fennec Shand by Hot Toys. Electro by Hot Toys. I think that's probably the pose Marco was going for, and then he dropped it because I don't know what the fuck that was. Marco's looked Egyptian. It was like doing a fucking.
He's doing the wave.
Yeah, exactly. And then Prank Villain by Mars Toys for Best Portrait. These are all really good. I am very biased. I think the Gandalf is fucking incredible. But I will say credit where credit's due. I think all of these portraits are excellent. Obviously, with the Prank Villain, you get, I want to say it's 3 portraits, if memory serves me correct. The Electro fucking shrink ray of Jamie Foxx. And I know Hot Toys has struggled with dark complected actors in the past, and they have improved tremendously this year. The Fennec Shand, nothing to sneeze at. Honestly, that may be the reason it gets my vote. All of the dark complected characters they've released this year have looked fucking incredible. Yeah. They fixed that weird gray tone,
but they haven't actually. Well, I guess Jamie Foxx released, but the other ones have been.
But you know what I mean? Like they updated portraits and stuff, and the Joker obviously looks pretty solid. So, yeah, it's a tough one. I'm going Gandalf, but I mean, any of these could walk away with the award, and you wouldn't have many people arguing, I think.
Yeah. The fact that Mars Toys is even on this list is a testament to how good that figure came out. Which might be the reason why I vote for it. I'm still really blown away by Gandalf. So it's going to be really tough. But really like a third party company competing top tier at the end of the year, that's kind of a testament to itself. So, like you said, any one of these could win and it'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Like, yeah, I could see why it won. So very cool.
Definitely. Sorry, I was trying to fix my graphics artifacts that were on the slides, but we're good now. What about you guys, Eddie, Ben?
Yeah, I'm seeing some honorable mentions in the chat. Falcon Cap, definitely agreed. T'Challa 2.0, I wouldn't necessarily agree with. I got that one in hand, but still a really good sculpt for this lineup that we have here. The Fennec blew me away when I first saw the pictures of her. I thought they were amazing. I've got the NR Joker, and while it's definitely what I consider the best on the market right now for Heath, there's still something about it that's not perfect for me. They didn't quite 100% nail it, and he's my favorite character, so maybe I've just got a little slightly too high of standards, possibly as well.
Yeah.
I think Gandalf definitely takes it. Every time you've shown us a picture of Gandalf beside any other Gandalf, your new in-art Gandalf makes all the other Gandalfs look like different people. And so I think that just alone for likeness and sculpt is the best. But like you guys said with Mars Toys, it is amazing that they made it on there, because that Brank villain looks like a photo of Cesar Romero if it wasn't for the sculpted hair. So pretty awesome.
Definitely. Just quickly here, I know the chat's suggesting a bunch of different figures. Definitely appreciate that, but I will say Falcon, Cap, and T'Challa I don't think had any nominations, and I think Cyborg maybe only had one. So definitely important if you do like these figures. Anytime any of the YouTube channels are doing nominations and stuff, be sure to let them know, because we only go off of that data that we have from you guys. So Eddie, tell me what you think.
The only one that I have of all these is the Joker. I love the Joker. I think someone said it's the eyes on the Joker. I think in person, the eyes can come off a bit animated, like they're a bit big or something. And I think that's what throws it off sometimes. I still think it's amazing, and I don't think that it's a big enough point to be like, oh, it's got problems. But sometimes I'll be looking at it and think his eyes look big sometimes, like like a cartoon sometimes. I didn't vote Joker though. I voted Gandalf. I think Gandalf's better. I love that Gandalf. I can't wait to get that Gandalf. So, and I still think the Asmus is pretty good. And for someone who hates Asmus, like
you fucking hate Asmus.
I love the Gandalf the White. I think that sculpt is the only one that comes close to the in-art one. I think it's pretty damn good for Asmus. So
I thought the updated Gandalf the Grey that Zach had, though, I think beat the White.
That one's good. That one's really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just wild though, like looking at what I thought was like a really damn good with the upgraded portrait for the Gray, and then to see the in art, it's like, bro, there's just levels to this. Like, you know, one is here, the improvements here, and in art's like fucking, it's in Pluto. It's with Dean and Pluto, bro. It's ridiculous. I'm going to post that link again for those that want to vote on this. There's already been a few people that have voted, so we appreciate you guys putting your votes in. It really helps us get a good, concrete winner for Figure of the Year and all the other different categories that we have. So we have Best 1/6 Scale Figure. Luke Skywalker by Hot Toys. This is the Mando Season 2 Luke Skywalker Deluxe. Moon Knight by Hot Toys. This to me was shocking to see it make the list. There was so many people that nominated this figure. Really love to see that. This kind of came out of nowhere for me. I thought it was a good figure, but to see that many nominations were really surprising. Carnage by Hot Toys. Again, anytime we talk about a figure that has a deluxe, we will be showing the deluxe. So this is the deluxe Carnage by Hot Toys. Cad Bane by Hot Toys, and Gandalf the Grey by InArt. I think for these last two, typically every year we do 6 figures because the categories do get very broad, and the Joker. So 6 really good figures. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 Hot Toys, 2 InArt. Cad Bane, a lot of people really love that figure. I think the only real complaint I heard was the weathering. And then Carnage, a figure that we gave away, and an excellent figure of massive size. These are all good for 1/6 scale. And I will clarify for Niculio, this is best licensed 1/6 scale figure. So there is a category earlier for third party. So for Figure of the Year, I believe Mars Toys did make it. But yeah, these are all excellent figures. A lot of people like the Luke. For me, I'm going Gandalf because of course I am. But yeah, these, again, I could see any of these winning and people would be very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm going either Carnage or Gandalf. Just the sheer size and complexity of that character to get in figure form is pretty impressive. So I could lean kind of towards Carnage, but I mean, it's hard to compete with Gandalf. That figure came out so fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete with that.
Yeah, Gandalf for me because of the accessories, the likeness to the character, and the actor. Definitely, I think, are a winner. I've got the Moon Knight in my collection. While I love the figure, it's not even my favorite figure in this room by any stretch. And I don't like that I have to use the batteries to light up the eyes. I feel like if I could have permanently lit eyes, I'd be in love with the figure a whole lot more. It is that Gandalf, but the Carnage is definitely a good runner-up there, Dean. I totally agree with that. I saw that in person recently, and that thing is ridiculously detailed up close. Very, very cool figure, but too big. So Gandalf it is for this guy.
There you go.
I know this is best figure and we're not supposed to take anything else into account, but I absolutely hate Carnage and Cad Bane's concept and design, so they fucking suck. So I will say I don't love Moon Knight the show, but this figure I kind of really want. Every time I see it in person, I'm like, this figure is amazing, dude.
It's awesome.
It just looks fun to pose, man, and it just looks super cool, dude. It's a really cool figure. The cape looks cool. Arguably for Hot Toys, it does crappy capes. It looks really cool. So I didn't vote it though. It's hard to beat in our Gandalf. So that Gandalf is amazing, and I don't even own it yet. But yeah,
this one's not as easy to pose as you might think, at least in the legs.
Really?
The material is quite tight, but the blogger photos do it justice.
Damn.
As a joke, I wanted to put the Asmus Golem on here. If you watched last night's unboxing, you'll know how hilarious that is. I was so fucking mad last night. Fucking went to bed angry.
I was surprised you got it, to be honest.
It was... America, do not ever do impulse purchases. It was one of the worst things I've ever done in my entire life. Let's see here. We have the figure of the year. So licensed, unlicensed, any scale. Again, this is purely based on this specific category, what people nominated for their choice. So if you don't like it, sorry, Charlie. We have the Gandalf the Grey by InArt Collectibles, the Joker by InArt Collectibles, Cad Bane by Hot Toys, Moon Knight by Hot Toys, Carnage by Hot Toys, and the Prank Villain by Mars Toys. So
is this overall?
Overall, yep.
No Game Toys Cloud. I'm out.
I thought you were gonna say no Tails.
Wow.
No. I mean,
you could leave this. You could leave it blank. But again, this is what in that specific category. Nominations, my guy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is disappointing.
Well, that's Dean's take. You can leave you can leave your selection blank if you like.
Yeah, it's I'm not. These are already the selections. I can't argue with it. So, but it was, yeah.
There we go. Sam Giss says, "I did not see your video, Zach, but I got Gollum, and it is shit. It looks like it came out of a quarter machine." Ben, what do you think here? Lots
Can you
of
click through them one more time for me?
Yeah, sure. We got Gandalf the Grey, the Joker, Cad Bane, Moon Knight, and Carnage.
And the villain, the Joker.
Oh, I'm sorry, and Prank Villain. Sorry,
Prank Villain. Yeah, it's really hard. For me, unfortunately, I think at this point it would still be the Gandalf again, based on the likeness, the accessories, just how good that figure is in comparison to anything else that it compares to. As much as I want to say the Joker, because I love that figure and I love the diorama that it comes with. Again, the head sculpt it's really strong, but for me, it's not perfect. So I think that would be the one. Alvin J with a $4.99 super chat says, "Goodbye, Eddie. It was fun while it lasted. Carnage reaction."
He said,
"There you go."
I guess I'm off the show now.
Alvin, I got your Patreon letter returned to sender, so I'm gonna send it again. I guess just send me an email if your address changed, but I'm gonna throw in a nice little surprise for you. But email me zack@collectingweekly.com and we'll get you sorted out, bud.
My answer's quick. InArt Gandalf was my last 3 votes. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
We did have a so I did reach out to a bunch of companies for requests for comment because that's what good shows do. And InArt did get back to us. They obviously have many nominations, so they kind of just gave us one big statement. From the whole InArt team, we'd like to thank collectors for their nominations and recognition of the hard work we've been putting into our figures. We know that there was a lot of skepticism at first, and quite rightly so, but we hope that that what we have released has shown collectors we take our work seriously. We want to keep on making better collectibles, and so far many of you have been patient while we strive for excellence. There are more improvements to be made in all areas, from the collectibles, the release process, and availability. We do live in a world where everything is instant and we want everything quickly. However, art takes time, and if you can give us the time, we'll continue to raise our standards, which we believe should also have a domino effect on all companies so that you, the end collector, is the winner. And that's the statement from John and the InArt team. So really excited to, I think every year we've tried to get statements from companies, and I think we almost never get them. So we had 2, and I think Iconic is working on one for us as well. So look at us moving on up. And also, Equan says, didn't InArt say they will check back with Viper? I did give them a bunch of feedback on the Gandalf, and they said it was great feedback, and they're going to take that into consideration. But
oh
they
my
said
God, they're going to give us another version. It's going to defeat the version.
Dude, they have to do the white. That's good.
Oh, God.
For the white, man.
What's that, Eddie?
They have to do the white one, so.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they said some of the feedback they had already gotten it from quite a few people, so they're adding it to changes for not just for Gandalf but for future releases, and then like the magnet base and other things. They said they're going to definitely keep an eye on going forward. So nominations will be live between now and December 11th at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we will announce the winners Tuesday, December 12th. So. Stay tuned for that. We have the, if you want to scan it there, you can do that, or you can enter your nomination there. We appreciate that for those that have already voted and those that will vote and those that nominated. Let's see here. We have 48 people, so let's go to random.org. And one of you guys is going to get, let's see, random numbers. One of you guys is going to get a $50 gift card to wherever you buy 1/6 scale figures. And I will say, as always, if a host wins, we'll just draw again because that's kind of lame. So here is the, let's see, just to show everybody, we have the what's that?
Yes.
I mean, it's not lean for the host. I'll take it. Saying, I work hard.
Well, do you?
I mean,
you were the last person to fill the form out. So.
Those hugs at Oxcon. Hey, I still filled it out on time. Technically, I was within the slot. I was within the slot. Those hugs at Oxcon only go so far.
16.
Wow.
Let's see. Caleb Miller. Yeah, starting at 1. Caleb Miller. Caleb Miller. If you're on Facebook, send me a message. If you're not on Facebook, email me from the email that you used on your form, zack@collectingweekly.com, like Sideshow, Big Bad Toy Store, Collector Zone, wherever you want a gift card that sells 1/6 scale figures. It will get you a $50 gift card to the retailer of your choosing. Sam Gist says, thank you for all your hard work. Voted right away because I really enjoy this every year. I don't want it to go away. I will say it took like 5 hours to make all the graphics and the slides and everything. And I was a bit disappointed at the number of nominees. I think last year there was like almost 200, and then this year there was 49. So it's kind of a little bit of a kick in the balls, but we'll see if we get the voting up. I know we shortened it a little bit this year, maybe that's why, but we'll see how the voting goes. But I did change the graphic style this year to make them a little faster to make. So we'll see if we do these next year. But for now, we got the awards December 12th. It'll be a very large, probably 10-person panel. We got to figure out who's going to be there for that. I have a lot of people ask about it, but there's probably going to be a lot more no's than yeses. So stay tuned for that. For instance, he didn't see his name. If you didn't see your name, then you may not have filled out the form.
You would have lost anyway, Fern.
Why is that?
I don't know, because it's Fern.
Yeah. I don't think you filled it out, Fern.
I'm just playing.
Our movie of the week is Blue Beetle. Let's see here. Blue Beetle.
I'm going to have to put on a shield right now to...
Jaime Reyes suddenly finds himself in possession of an ancient relic of alien biotechnology called the Scarab. When the scarab chooses Jaime to be its symbiotic host, he's bestowed with an incredible suit of armor that's capable of extraordinary and unpredictable powers, forever changing his destiny as he becomes the superhero Blue Beetle. I actually liked this movie. I didn't love it, but I just think it's kind of cool to see like the Latin community get a W. I think our last movie was Nacho Libre, so
What
for us to
the
have
fuck?
another
That was a
superhero
long time.
movie,
Spy Kids and then Nacho Libre.
Yeah, it was Spy Kids, Nacho Libre, and this. We're
Oh,
not
what about
spoiled for
Machete?
Is he a superhero? Yeah, I'll give it that. Seeing George Lopez, I don't know where the fuck he's been for forever long, but seeing him as like the conspiracy theorist, like, kind of cooked out uncle, when he first transforms and he's freaking, it's like, oh my God, he's possessed. It went up his ass. Dude,
That's
I was
amazing.
literally crying.
Yeah.
I like genuinely tears crying laughing. It was so fucking funny. The banter within the family, I think, it felt real. Like, there's some shows or movies that you're just like, okay, this felt good though. I liked it. I think the CGI is pretty poor though on the suit. Like, it just never looked great, and a lot of times I think the dialogue in this movie was very clunky. I was watching it and Victoria was listening, and she's like, God, they've said this dude's name like 6 times in this conversation, and I guess like they're trying to establish the characters, but I was like, you're right, that's actually kind of odd. Overall, it's a pretty good movie though. I wouldn't say I'm gonna watch this all the time, but it was kind of a fun film. The different powers were really cool. I kind of want to go back and see if Eddie had shared yesterday that McFarlane was $5. I would spend $5 for.
Yeah, I picked it up immediely.
It's
Yeah.
not $5 anymore.
Oh no!
It was a Black Friday,
It was like a
Cyber
Black
Monday
yeah.
deal. Sorry,
Yeah.
bud.
Yeah. Trembledust says Beetle to me is like Mrs. Marvel. The fam is what made the media. Yeah, that's really how I felt. Other than that, do you want a Hot Toys Blue Beetle? I know Marco said he wanted the grandma with the fucking Gatling gun. So
No, I think Ben said that.
Oh, that was Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben.
Katera says I can't not with this movie. The family was the only best part of the film.
This explains it. This explains Ben's take, I think.
Oh, here we go. Ben, go ahead and give us your take.
Yeah, go on mute, please.
Yeah, unmute.
Sorry.
please.
Thank
He's
you.
so excited to
That'll
talk
probably
shit.
help. That'll probably help.
Here we go.
So I don't have what did you say this was previewing? Wherever it was, I couldn't watch it. HBO Max, I
Max?
think, right? I don't have HBO Max. So I had to rent this movie. And the difference between renting it Canadian dollars and buying it was $3. It was like $6.99 to rent it or $9.99. And I was like, maybe I should just buy it because for the extra $3, like, what's the difference, right? And I thought about it, hummed and hawed. I decided, you know what? No, I'm going to stick with the rental version. I am happy I saved that $3.
Oh God.
I will give the good first because there was definitely some good in this film. I actually did really like the family scenes. The part where they drop them off at that like job place,
They're all waving
and
at
they're all
him
like
and shit.
cheering and waving and stuff. That was great. There was some
I didn't
emotional.
bless you. I didn't bless you.
There were some emotional scenes in the film, especially at the end when the grandma says, we can cry now. That made me do the a little bit. I felt it. I felt the emotion there. I liked that part of it. I liked the look of the Blue Beetle suit. Even the CGI I thought was pretty good. In comparison, especially to the bad guy's CGI suit, I thought that looked really janky and kind of cartoonish. And I did think that like overall, it was like a fun movie for a family. Like it was a fun family movie. It was an easy watch. It was overly not threatening. You definitely didn't have to think about it too hard. It was a popcorn film. I think if you just turn your brain off and just watch it, I think you'll have a fun time with it. On the other hand, for the stuff that I didn't totally love, I really thought this young actor playing Blue Beetle, I haven't seen him in anything else. I've been told in Cobra Kai he's amazing and that I don't know what I'm talking about. In this particular film, I didn't think his acting was very good at all. Some of the scenes that he has, even with the young girl, who seems like she's way out of his league, by the way, and so I didn't really believe their love chemistry really at all. Some of the acting was like almost like porn acting. Like it was like real rough, like I almost thought they were going to start hanging out afterwards,
Wow.
Didn't happen, clearly. Even like the main actress, the villain actress, what is it, Susan Sarandon? I can't remember what her name is. Even she, who is an amazing actress, felt like her line delivery was just really strange and weak, and just like she didn't believe the character she was in. The fact that this movie didn't really have much of a villain at all, it was extremely predictable. That, like, knowing that the villain guy at the end is going to turn and help, predictable as hell. The fact that we knew that there was definitely going to be a without great power comes great responsibility somewhat level of conversation in this film. I just waited for it the whole time. Once the dad had kind of died, in that moment where you see him in heaven and they're sitting there together, or I don't know if it's heaven, but like an afterlife story, like style scene, that I like called that scene was coming up, and boom, there it was. It was just so devilishly like predictable. My favorite part of the film in terms of 6 scale collectibles is what you already said, Zach. I would have taken like the granny with the Gatling gun, or the uncle. Yeah, or the uncle, which I honestly think the uncle had more screen time than Jaime himself.
Not Jaime.
Not Jaime, yes.
He's
Jaime.
mixing up his browns. You hate to see it.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I did learn that I didn't realize Jaime looked like Jamie, like when written. So that was something that I did learn from the film. Even the line in Spider-Man where, if you're nothing without the suit, what are you? I felt like even his build-up as like a heroic character fell a little flat. Like, yeah, he got in front of the bully at the beginning of the movie, but like overall he didn't feel that heroic, and the suit did most of the work for him. So at first he just like resented it, and then by the end of the movie he was like, yeah, now I can pick up this really hot girl who's taller than me and definitely out of my league with the suit. I didn't like it. I wouldn't watch it again.
It took me out of the movie. The first scene that she was in, she was sitting like she was in like a 90s R&B. She had like her legs all spread, and she had like, I don't know, it's like a weird power pose. Like, what the fuck is this chick doing? And I was like, oh, that's the main like actress in the film. It was just so weird, like the way she was sitting. It really genuinely took me out of the film for like 5 minutes. Eddie, what did you think about this?
I didn't know if Dean was going to go first or not.
Whomever.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Ever.
Just while it's fresh in my mind, I think to counterpoint his arc, what you said about his character arc, I think that's part of the script for the movie. I feel like when they try to focus on the family aspect, you lose that story for him. They focused way more on the family dynamic and their character as a whole, and I think that's why we lost that solo character from him, which is, I agree with that. When you look more into it, you could definitely see that. I like this movie a lot. It's one of my more well-liked superhero movies that's come out recently. I do think that a lot of it can be called like nostalgia for growing up Mexican or in a Mexican household, because a lot of what I love about it is it feels very familiar. His family members feel very familiar.
100%.
The music feels very familiar. A lot of it feels very. You kind of get that like that thing that draws you to a superhero, which is like that's you. You get that a lot from the get go. So I love that. Some of the notes that I wrote down was when Zach said that when the uncle's going crazy, when the Blue Beetle is attaching himself to him.
I literally cried, bro.
Yeah,
that was
I was
the
dying.
funniest fucking shit. And then his nails are painted, and that just made me laugh. It was just so much shit, and his stupid ass hairdo. It was so fucking incredible, that one scene. Worth the price of admission. I'd pay $6.
A lot of people were worried about George Lopez being in it, like saying that his character would be corny and not good, and I feel like he's one of the better characters in the movie.
He made me laugh the most.
I agree with that. No one's winning any awards for the acting in this movie. I don't think it's as bad as some stuff that we've seen where it was cringy bad. Like, I feel like some of the acting in not that. That's old. I mean, like current stuff, like Love and Thunder, that has cringy acting scenes in it. And then like Morbius has cringy acting scenes in it. And I feel like this is not, it's not an award-winning acting movie, but it's good. And I feel like they were told to play that kind of like, I don't know, superhero-y kind of corny villain kind of thing with Susan Sarandon. I think Carapax is really good. He's the villain, like the bad guy, like the strong bad guy, I guess, since Susan Sarandon's kind of like the mastermind of it all. He's more of the muscle bad guy.
Pinky in the brain.
I think he I think he was really good at that. George Lopez did stand out. He killed it. And then if you throw in a action scene with Kickstart My Heart from Motley Crue into any superhero movie, I'm immediately sold, bro. They threw that into the end of Hellboy with that new Hellboy that sucked, this is better than that. But just throwing in a scene with Kickstart My Heart, then you got me. So I do love it. Adriana likes it. It was fun to watch it again. I have both McFarlane figures. I have the winged release and the other.
Did you buy those before you saw the movie or after?
That's a good question. It might have literally been like right before or right after. I don't remember. It might have been right after.
Yeah.
They were $5. I got lucky. I already owned them, so I didn't get a new Blue Beetle, but the Carapax in the OMAC, the upgraded OMAC armor was on sale for $10. So I ended up picking that up. So yeah, I'd say solid movie. I'd love a Blue Beetle hot toy, I think. I'd really love it because just it has a lot of accessories that you could throw in there. So different strokes for different folks.
You know what I think it is, Eddie?
Well, I think it's because we're brown.
We're brown. They didn't grow up Latino. Like
that's why I think a lot of it is that.
But the Latino aspect of the movie is the part that I liked the most. Everything else I didn't like.
Now I know how they felt with Shang-Chi and Black Panther being.
Jeez, you hate to see it. My house is on fire. I hate it.
Yeah, no, this movie, pretty much start to finish, I had tons of fun. The music is incredible. And then like the soundtrack is incredible, but also the score, which is like not like the popular music they just threw in the movie, but the music they wrote for the movie. Like the scene where they first go into like the original Blue Beetles, like Bat Cave or Beetle Cave burrow. I don't know what you call it. But it's got that really heavy synth, dark wave, kind of 80s vibe to it.
Yeah.
And that
reminded me of Watchmen almost.
That's kind of strung out throughout the movie, and it's such a fucking vibe. I love that. I liked all the like Latino-ness to it. Like every single time I leave anywhere where my mom is and I leave, she gives me a bless. Exactly like that. And she'll literally stop me in my car like, wait, don't go anywhere. I have to give you a bless. Like, that's just like stuff she does that like when I was watching this, I was like, oh my goodness, like that's so cute. Like my mom does that to me. So, that was really fun. The family dynamic is very warm and like, oh, we'll figure this out. We do it together. Like Mexican families just do shit together all the time. Like we'll figure this out. That was a really great aspect of the movie. That being said, Granny running around with the fucking Gatling gun was a little cringy for me. I won't lie, but it was nice that he's not the only one, right? Like everybody's got shit to fight for. The scene with the dad, oh my God, bro. I was like, it was so beautifully done. The only thing I really disliked about this movie, was the suit, like the character, whatever it's called, the Blue Beetle essence or whatever it is, like felt very disjointed, like it didn't do what he wanted, then it only did what he wanted, and then it was like, all of a sudden started speaking Spanish. It was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I just didn't like that. It almost like wasn't him doing any of the stuff. It was the suit. Because he's like, oh, let me take over. He's like, okay. And he starts kicking ass. It's like, so is it him or is it the suit? Like, I don't get it. And then the last fight was it was fun to watch, but in the back of my mind, I was like, is he really doing any of this or is it the suit? And then the suit's like, oh, I got stabbed. I can't help you anymore. I was like, what? It was weird. There was a lot of stuff that with the suit specifically I did not enjoy.
Yeah, agreed.
The bad guy, what'd you call him, Eddie?
Carapax?
I call him K-Pax, like that movie.
Yeah.
That is a good movie.
I felt like they kind of started showing that he wasn't really bad kind of early on. Like the camera would focus on his face to like show like maybe he's having second thoughts. So I'm kind of with Ben. Like it was like, oh, that's 100% going to happen. But then when they show his backstory, and it was like, okay, so you're working with the people that killed your fucking mother? Like, I was like, that makes no sense. Why would you? It would be one thing if it was like a memory like he couldn't remember, and maybe Blue Beetle helped unlock that memory. Like, holy shit, this fucking lady.
That is what happened.
I think that is kind of what
that
happened.
is what happened. When the scarab like went into him from when they downloaded it from the kid, it unlocked that memory.
Is it? Because that was very unclear.
No, you described
You're right.
it
It was
perfectly.
very unclear, though. You're 100% right.
Because when they show the flashback, it's right before he betrays her, but he's been fighting Blue Beetle for the past 30 fucking minutes. It's like
that's true. Maybe it was
so
loading.
like that. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I feel like that could have been more of a wait a minute kind of like, now I'm gonna fucking start helping you because this lady's been fucking torturing me my whole life. So okay, that makes more sense. So I'll have to watch it again. That was only
You're right
one
though.
viewing.
He does fight him for a minute before he actually. That's true.
I gotta go opposite with Ben. I'm almost disappointed I didn't buy it. I only rented it. I loved it. I thought it was a fun movie. I would definitely watch it again. Jenny Cord is such a fucking babe.
Beautiful.
Unreal. Beautiful. Jenny, if you're out there watching this right now, you're out of my league. But I mean, you went for Jaime. So.
Wow, he's not bad looking, man. What are you
No, he's a
about?
pretty handsome guy. This is I had tons of fun watching this movie.
Even the logic around the suit, Dean, like you're saying at the end when she says, we're going to basically drain this power out of you. And once it's 100% out of you, it will kill you. And then it's 100% out because it does transfer to the other guy, which gives him the power. And yet it doesn't kill Jaime, and he gets power back in the suit a few minutes after the transfer. So like even that didn't totally make sense.
Well, they were saying it might
kill
kill him.
That's why he was talking
I thought
to
they were
his
saying
dad.
that it definitely would kill him.
Oh,
He did die. He was talking to his dad. His dad sent him back.
So he came back from the dead now. Okay, I guess, again, that wasn't very...
That's why his dad is
Wasn't
like,
very
you
obvious.
shouldn't be here yet.
I thought it was funny that there was at least 2 boner jokes in this film.
Yeah.
Both times he kisses the girl, like the suit calls him out for it, and he has to cover himself with a shirt before he can stand up. I thought that was funny. And I will, one last thing, the part where he gets the suit on for the first time looks like the most painful transition into a suit I've ever seen of
that
any
was
character.
brutal.
All
I
his
thought it was.
clothes,
I
like,
thought
burn
that was
off
gonna
and,
kill
like-
him. Like that was. And at that point, I was bought in. I was like, oh shit, okay, like what's gonna happen? And then it lost it for me.
Bro, when he's standing there naked in front of his family and they're like, bro, your fucking huevos are showing.
I like those huevos. Yeah, dude.
And he's like, wow, he's so small. He's cold.
Big old Fern says there was a lot of non-Mexican people saying it was too exaggerated Mexican parts, but that's literally how it is to be Mexican. 100%, dude.
I was
It
gonna
felt
say,
very authentic to me. I
Dude,
liked
fucking la raza, dude. 100%.
Do you guys think that if this was under the Marvel banner and had a slightly bigger budget, it would have done way better? Because I think that's what held it back, is that it's under DC and that it doesn't have the Marvel people behind it. Because I feel
I
like
think
this
for
could
me-
have been like Mexican Spider-Man almost, you know? Like
Yeah.
it could have been that
It
level.
felt like a Spider-Man movie, but
Yeah.
I think it's hard to like. I don't know. Someone said earlier in the chat that this character may get carried over. Here we go. May get carried over to the new James Gunn universe, but for me, I think with like any of these movies, it's hard to really be that invested because it's like we may never see this again. So it's like why am I going to buy the toys or like, invest in the movie and the franchise if it's like a one and done?
Yeah,
it's kind of tough for me.
Some people were saying this was the first movie of the new DC, but then James Gunn tweeted that he saw it and liked it. So it's like, well, does that mean he's carrying it over, or is he sad that it's not going to be continued? Like, it was very, like, I don't know what's happening. So you're right, Zach. Everything's kind of up in the air right now.
Tremble, I know it's not a Marvel character, but I'm saying I feel like that's what held the movie back, is it's under the DC umbrella, and with everything that's going on at DC, there's that, in people's minds. And then also, it only had $100 million budget, which I guess is big for a no-name or like a character that is not that big of a character in the DC franchise. But I don't know. I feel like it could have done a little better if it had Marvel behind it.
I also think with the quick 45-day turnaround to streaming for people, it is easier to decide to hold off at least on seeing this in theater and then watch it at some point when it becomes available on streaming.
I'm still so spoiled, dude. It's like I don't want to go to theaters anymore.
For sure. I think that's a contributing factor. I think the fact that people were pretty confident DC is rebooting, but then I do believe James Gunn has said this past week that this character is transitioning over with Peacemaker as well. Yeah. And so again, Peacemaker, there can be a bit of a retcon at the very, very last after credits scene in the show in order to keep it in canon. This one felt like a very separate movie from everything we've seen in the DC universe anyways. So I feel like it could be transitioned over, at least with the character. But it felt so lackluster to me. I honestly still feel that I hope the new DC rebooted universe feels very divergent from what we've seen here. These DC movies feel like they were trying to be the level of Marvel movies in the past and still weren't necessarily hitting it. But to your point, Eddie, I don't know if they would have done much better either, because the Marvels that just came out is like historically one of the lowest, or if not the lowest, Marvel release to date. So it's going the way of the dodo as well.
Don't worry, Ben. They're going to make an Alpha Flight movie at some point, and you'll have that nostalgia, that Canadian team up.
There you go.
Our next episode, is it episode 296 or 295? I gotta now.
296. Today's 295.
Oh damn! I messed this graphic up big time, didn't I? For 296. Wait, let me double check. I feel like I didn't.
Either that, or you named the episode wrong. It's right there on the StreamYard.
Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah. I'm sure we probably have multiple of the same episode, but yeah, I guess I did mess that up. Episode 296 is Godzilla versus Kong, and then we'll lean into holiday picks after that for movie of the week. Dean, let's say, or actually real quick, we have the auxiliary Santa ornament. We're doing actually, I thought it would be fun this year to make some ornaments for other content creators. So Collector Joey and Reverse Zeo have theirs, and then a few other content creators, just kind of close friends of mine. I'll be sending them their logos in their ornaments of their logos. So be on the lookout. I don't really need anyone to make a video, but if you want to, that'd be cool. But I'm working on. I think everyone has. They come in clear red, but people wanted them blue or red or whatever.
Reminds me of those suckers you get at the.
It looks like candy, office. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like candy. So, if anyone wants one of these, I think they're $25 shipped, or if you're in San Antonio, they're $20 shipped in the U.S. And you can on Auxiliary, the Facebook group, you can let me know if you want one, and I will print it and ship it. And the sooner I'd probably close off orders probably like the week of the 12th or a little bit after. So just a few of these so far have sold, but that's perfectly fine. Not a big deal. And just want to be able to have people, if they want to have some collecting weekly swag on their Christmas tree, they can do that.
I like that Triforce, by the way, that's on there. Is that your tree, Zach?
It is my tree, yeah. It's a 3D print. Remind me and I'll print you one.
I'd take a Triforce. Heck yeah.
Like 2 seconds, awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
It's like a 5-minute print. Yeah.
Cool.
Remind me tomorrow, and I should be able to just bang it out real quick. Yeah, Nick, if you want one, let me know. It just depends on how complicated your logo is, because it took like hours to remake some people's logos in like a 3D format. So I'm trying to simplify these logos now. But Dean, let's thank these Patreonies, please.
Yeah. Hold on, sorry, my phone was being weird. I was trying to send you something. Give a quick shout out to Ian CB, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Giss, Daminator, Joel Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Gins, Figs, Billy Badfish, Toy Cartel, Sweet Danik and Lee Walker, Deanie Martin, Stephen Kratt, Big Ol' Fern, Season Marquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomansky, Rick Gregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Tukothry, Derek B, Arias Portillo. I don't know if you guys can hear Kevin, he's freaking out. Alvin J, Arelis Delgado, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Madon, Stephen Pritchett, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Mansnars, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. What a bunch of angels.
Sweethearts, angels, all of them. Let's see here. We have the November, December Patreon benefits. We have the Just Another Friday Night sticker and the CW300 sticker. Those will be shipping right at the end of December. So be sure to check your mailboxes for that. Patreon starts at $5 for the hot seat. We also have the Sweet Angel 750 Certified Crispy $15 tier for figure fix assistance, and the What a Guy $25 Pog Deluxe set, and doubles of the stickers that we send. Looking at our YouTube channel members, we have Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hansen, Big Ol' Fern, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Good Old Spotchka, Gotham Cenobites, Justice Sports Cards, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Clitoris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 1/6 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S Beam, Sam Giss, Garnlord, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Sunnyvale Russ, The Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Mafia. Appreciate you guys for supporting us as YouTube channel YouTube channel members. We really appreciate that, and we love you guys. Channel membership starts at 99 cents if you're a Patreon member. You get loyalty badges, emojis, and shoutouts, and $2.99 if you're not a Patreon member for the Peanut Gallery tier. We have TeePublic as well. I think everything is on sale this week, so if you want t-shirts, now's a good time to do that. You can also buy some of our old sticker designs are on there. They're not super high quality stickers, but I think we sold like a Gooch Grease one yesterday, so shout out to whoever bought that. We always randomly get like a few orders of that sticker, which is hilarious. And looking at the network, we have live unboxing on Monday. Apologize, it was kind of rough yesterday. I was not super stoked with the figure that I got, so we kind of cut that one short yesterday. Question of the week on
Did you like
Sundays.
weep or something? Like, is it like, should I be going and checking that out afterwards?
No, I didn't cry or anything.
That was a long pause.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't, because you were breaking up a little bit.
Well, I cried a little bit. Sorry.
No, it was an impulse buy, and I didn't watch any reviews. And handling it, it just, like, the figure was falling apart. It just, one of the worst purchases I've ever made. OFAC alternating Thursdays. This week, I believe, is an OFAC week. Small Talk on Thursday. After Dark tomorrow at 10:30. Live and Let Dice. We played on Saturday, and the Nox PD. Still trying to figure it out. There's a lot of changes to the game lately, and it's been kind of a. You have to troubleshoot it, and it takes a long time. So we are trying to get that filmed. It's just it's not really something that's in our control. It just depends on when the people get it working. So we are definitely trying to get that back to recording. It's just been a bit difficult with the holidays and everything. So. But yeah, do you guys have any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Lewis. That's what's his screen name? It's not Tukathri, is it? Luis?
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 Go on.
But yeah, he I had messaged him about Robotech. I have the Chikogan jets, and none of them come with missiles. So I was like, hey man, you have any extra missiles lying around? He was like, yeah, I got a couple. I could send them to you. I was like, cool, man. Like, just let me know. Because I got fucking, 4 of them now, and none of them have missiles. It's kind of shitty.
What do you mean they don't have missiles? Like, you just lost them, or?
No, they don't come with them. You have to buy a separate missile pack. It's stupid.
Show me what you're talking about. I don't quite understand. Like
Well,
the
think of
little
a jet with no missiles on it.
Oh,
can't
because
show
I know.
you.
No, I know. Like some of your models, they have like those tiny missile pods. I thought you meant like that part, like the little dot.
No, like if
red
you
or
have a
white.
jet flying,
Yeah, I see.
there's
I see.
missiles under the wing.
Yeah, I see. Okay,
Yeah, they don't
That's
come
odd.
with those. Yeah,
for the
it's really
Chigogans.
Yeah, it's stupid.
There's
You
no
have to
3D
buy-
print files of that.
I'm sure there are, but then I gotta print them and I get them painted. And, hope they match. And you're already so busy with your painting schedule.
Oh, Merlin is. I mean, Merlin's piling up. I mean, I can't tell left from right sometimes.
How dare you? Anyway, so
I mean, you told me you were in no rush, so I said no rush. Bet.
I didn't mean like that. That was like 2 months ago.
That was like not even a month ago.
How dare
I'll
you?
finish.
Anyway.
I'll finish your painting when you buy that Echo and Fives. Echo
no
and
deal. No
How
deal.
dare you?
Anyway, so he was like, yeah, I got some extra. I could ship them out to you. He was like, cool, let me know. And I didn't hear from him for like a month. And he messaged me today. He's like, hey, man, your missiles should have been delivered. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even, he never said anything. I thought maybe he forgot or whatever. I wasn't going to pester him, right, for essentially free missiles, right? And he was like, no, it said they were supposed to be delivered. And so I was like, I haven't gotten any notice or anything. I was like, can you give me the tracking number so I could see what it says? And he was like, well, it's going to spoil the surprise, but I bought you a pack of missiles from Japan. So he bought me a whole pack, and they're currently lost in the mail somewhere.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I'm really upset that the surprise got spoiled for both of us, but I gotta figure that out. So he's a fucking sweetheart for sending those, and I gotta go to the post office tomorrow because it said they tried to deliver it on the 24th, and now it's in retention. I don't really know what that means, but that was Friday, and I have not gotten a notice or pink slip anywhere. So usually they leave it like nobody was here to sign for it, so you could pick it up later. So I don't know what's going on. But what a sweetheart, wonderful guy. I love that dude.
That's an awesome story, dude. Shout out to Classy Thomas and 12-Inch Moose Dream. Both of those guys are super sick right now, it sounds like, and trying to get on the mend. So send some well wishes to those guys. Classy Thomas, I really need you to get to the post office because I'm really excited for that figure. So I'm just kidding.
Wait,
I love you, buddy.
if it's, I meant to ask you this. How in a rush are you for that package, Ben?
Oh, I mean, not that much in a rush, I guess. Why?
If I mailed him your ornaments, could he put them in the box? It would probably add like a week.
That's fine. He said it was going to be a couple days before he was back on his feet anyways, so that's fine.
Okay.
Sure.
Can you ask him just to hold off? And what I'll do, because I have to send him a package anyways.
Okay.
It would actually, because I got to mail like 8 of these gift packages, so if I could save $15 or whatever, that'd be great. Okay, I appreciate it. I meant to ask you that off stream, but.
Yeah, no, all good. And then shout out to everybody, of course, watching. Thanks for always coming back week over week. Definitely gives us energy when we see you guys in the chat. Makes us excited and gives us a good show. for sure. So we definitely appreciate you guys. And then lastly, shout out to all the panelists on Let's Get Nuts Sunday this past week. If you missed the live show, it was a really, really fun one. Talked a lot about entertainment news, movie theories, stuff like that, as well as figures and all the good stuff. So yeah, Let's Get Nuts on the Ben Thomas Show. If you missed it, Eddie has been a usual with me on there as well, and very different show, I'd say, than this one. So lots of different stuff.
Wow.
I'm sure you guys will like it.
Breaking my heart.
In a good way.
Just kidding. Shout out to Cody, our DM. It's always when you play a game like D&D with essentially the same people for a long time, I think every once in a while you got to kind of have a little bit of a meeting and get everyone on the same page again. And he's a great DM. He's really receptive to some of the feedback that some of the players had, and we hope that. Well, actually, we saw it in action. The feedback, and the last episode was fantastic. So if you haven't listened to D&D, because it is kind of hard to get into, right? Our campaign has been almost 2 years. Episodes are 5-6 hours long. This last episode from this week and the next one, they should only be about 4 hours each, but it's a fairly self-contained story, right? It has a beginning and an end that should be within those 2 episodes. So if you want to just get a little bit of a D&D nugget, that's a pretty good one because, again, it is a very self-contained story. So, yeah, shout out to everyone that nominated and everyone that's voted. I think we got 10 votes so far for the award show. So I'll drop that link one more time.
Zach, I've got one more actually to add. I forgot because I'd smoked my pen earlier and then I lost track of my thinking. Especially when Eddie laughs, makes me it's like one of those things. Nick's _collectibles YouTube channel this Sunday is having I think one final match of 1/6 Mania Wrestling. So if you guys have caught that in the past on his stream, definitely go and check that out. It looks like it airs at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Last time Marco and I fought for the title against Dean and Zach, actually, and while I think that was an incredibly unfair fight, Collecting Weekly somehow took that title. So I need to see what's going to happen this coming Sunday, because I'm sure I've got some words for Nick if he puts me out that easily again. So
wait, you're fighting us again?
I don't know exactly what's happening yet, but if I end up fighting any of you guys, I'm gonna have some words. So.
All I gotta say is, Nick, if we lose, our friendship's over, bro.
I was wondering what is that whole thing that
he does like it's really crazy.
You'd
like,
love
he makes
it, Eddie.
like it's hard to explain, but
it's
makes
so
like
fun.
I'll send you. I think we should send you the link, but.
Yeah, he makes like models of the streamers, and then they fight in different categories. And I think Dean's fighting Howard Chan, which is hilarious.
Crap!
So, but Howard Chan wears like an Iron Man neon tech armor. It's fucking wild.
It's fucking hilarious.
They announce it like wrestling commentators and stuff while you're watching you're watching basically a video game, but of us fighting each other. And it's being commentated by them, and like the commentating is really on point. It's super funny. I really enjoy it. So
yeah, Howard Chan did an elbow drop on someone. Nick goes, "Oh man, it's the single jointed elbow drop." It was like, bro, he fucking came up with that like on a fucking whim. It was so fucking funny.
Nick, all I gotta say is if my character doesn't have a Pants Prince fucking move, I send it back.
Oh, dude, you should come out with a shirt that says Pants Prince on them.
Yeah, Nick, make
Where's
my character say
Prince?
"Make pants great again." That's what my shirt should say.
Yeah, but he like customizes shirts with like our logos on them, like
Collecting
Weekly. And
he made my arms to scale.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. It's fucking incredible, but
wow.
Yeah, he asked everybody like, "Hey, are you cool with being put on this thing?" And everyone said, "Yeah." And it's fun. It's incredible. It's so fun.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm really glad he kept doing it.
Check that out.
Shout out to Katera for watching. I know we're a bunch of nerds, but appreciate it.
Even though she hated my Blue Beetle movie, you hate
Here we go. We got now you know how I felt last week, Eddie. We have the just a few more photos here, and we'll leave you guys be.
Looks like he's holding a retainer.
I thought this was a mouth
It
guard.
does look like a mouth guard. Yeah.
Dude, you could use this as a mouth guard holder. That's pretty cool.
Dude, I kind of want this. To be honest,
that's actually kind of cool.
I kind of do want this.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got 3 heads too. Wow.
God, that middle sculpt is bad.
Yeah, it's a little
I don't
suspect.
like.
I like the aggressive sculpt.
Yeah, I don't like the. You do like the heat vision sculpt?
I do like it.
the heat vision
I think that one's
sculpt.
Bro, I'd get this Batman.
I think
I
the
like just
happy
the
face looks a
plain-
little silly.
Dude, I'm tempted to get this.
I wonder how they're gonna do the boots. Oh, okay. They're
Yeah, there's two sets of boots. That's cool.
so no ankle articulation.
No
on that one.
articulation. Okay, unsold. You just lost
That's
it.
yeah, that's rough,
I no longer
dude.
want it.
I mean, would you be posing this guy in dynamic poses?
Dude,
Probably not, right?
ankle articulation is probably the most
Important.
crucial articulation for me for any figure. If it has bad ankle
Butterfly
articulation,
joints.
I hate it.
Butterfly joints.
I mean,
to see it.
unless it's a really soft plastic, it could work. Because Game Toys Cloud's boots are like that. They look like they're solid, but you could still articulate them. Again, Game Toys infinitely better than
I do have a shout out. I forgot. This weekend is LA Comic Con. So Friday through Sunday, a couple of the guys from the community in SoCal will be there on Saturday. If anybody's in local to SoCal and they want to hang out, it'll be me, Calvin, Jose plus Jose G. Cuervo will be there. Danny Lee's gonna be there.
Wow. Danica Lee Walker?
I'm sorry.
Danny Dimes?
Mario will be there. Wow. Dude, fucking Danny is staying at Calvin's place, and I said they're going to film Rush Hour 4 there.
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty That's the best joke today, I think.
Well, it's up there. It's up there.
At least one of the 4 quadrants
I'll-
left.
Wow. I'll be there I'll be there every day. So if you guys want to check, I'll be working one of the booths, Super Bad action figures. If you want to check it out, or at least to talk to me, I'll be out there if you guys want to hang out. But yeah.
Why would anybody want a super bad action figure?
Mr. Musashi
bad
says,
isn't good.
"Do you guys have a hang on? Do you guys have a CW coupon for the InArt soups? I might order a second. Mr. Musashi, try CW. I think it ended on October 28th. Give me 1 second here when I answer this question live. Kit. Let's see here. The coupon code, it's till October 28th, but it's CWSM. CWSM. It's like Collecting with Superman. Try that. If that doesn't work, yeah, I don't know if they would honor it again, but try that. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. It's a little bit of a longer episode. I was shocked. I thought we were going to be out of here like in an hour and a half, but it's weird. The shows with the least news, we have the longest shows, and the shows with all the news, we bang it in and out. So, anyways, yeah, sorry, Mr. Musashi. Yeah, I think it was only for the 28th. We love you guys. You guys are great. Chat was fantastic tonight. Anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Ben.
I'm Eddie.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
What was that?
Eddie went like this and then like looked like he got caught and was like
That's a MacBook thing, right? I thought maybe because I'm on a MacBook now it would work, but
you're on an old Mac. You're on an old MacBook, Eddie. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
Do you see it did the? Yeah. It didn't even do the little heart. It did like a full flutter. What the? Wow.
Wow, that's got swag, bro.
That was for guitar, I guess.
Swag. Wow.